And we are live.
Hello.
Lies and slander?
Everyone, long time no see.
It has indeed
Yellows.
been 2 weeks, even though
We
half of us are
did. Yeah, last night we were just like, we were both
we bel
convinced it was last week. And I was like, no, that doesn't make sense. I had my child
Nope.
last week. But why does it feel like last week? And then we looked it up and we're like, no, it's the 16th. Time is
Time
just
has
a weird
flown.
soup.
Oh yeah,
we
it
just
flew this
collectively
week.
lost a week, it's fine.
We did. Somehow, one of the weeks was just an absolute blur. And here
Mhm.
I
we
mean,
are.
how often were you guys sick over the past month?
A month, just over a month. I was sick right before Christmas. Yeah.
I'll blame that.
Yeah. I'm finally getting better. It's just a little bit of some nasal congestion, just a little bit of a pathetic cough, as I like to call it, but mostly
Look,
okay. But it's being passed around the group amongst different campaigns, so
January's just
January
cursed.
sucks. Yeah.
I've decided that as tonight, my dog got sick, and then,
Yeah.
I lost a crown.
Yeah, don't eat haichu, girl. I mean, please do. It's delicious snackage, but I'm just saying, maybe not on that side of the mouth.
Can't anymore, I don't have a crown there anymore.
Mm.
Hmm.
It's
Ending the
fine.
month on a win. This is
Yeah.
fantastical. Hopefully, this is the last week I'll be cameraless too, because I'm still like blowing my nose and whatnot. So I don't want to be nasty on screen for everyone. So,
How dare you have a normal human bodily function?
Mm-hmm.
well, yes, and not showing the world every 10 minutes of me blowing my nose. No one needs to see that.
And then putting it on YouTube to be there forever!
It's on the internet, it's there forever. But yeah, we are back in a timely fashion as promised. So yeah, I'll just kind of hand it on over to Tilt to
All right.
start us off. As
Before.
far as I know, really quick before I do, I'm so sorry, I just remembered. We do have our Behold Lord episode this Saturday. I believe we agreed it was at 8 o'clock instead of 5:30 because mom. Okay. How
Sorry.
dare you? How dare you? No, it's fine. So yeah, so this Saturday at 8 o'clock, we will have Azrin and Giltam, kind of co-tagging it, continuing our, I almost said Behold Roleplay. We're Behold Roleplay. Hi. Our Destiny Forge Season 2 campaign, our epilogues, since no one really knew what happened to the characters, what they've been up to for the last 60 years, before the events of Campaign 3 that's currently going on right now. So yeah, so Tarshara, aka Tartar, played by Gilatam, and then of course Rose, by Azreen, will be tag teaming that this Saturday. So if you have any questions that you'd like to ask, or just ask them when we're live, we are happy to answer them because it's gonna be interesting to see what happened to those characters. So Tartar's Tam. Okay, I know because there's a lot of doubles. She has a pattern with her names. Okay.
Leave me
No,
alone.
I'm just laughing because I'm like, yeah, obviously she's dead. You know, it's Tam's character.
She survived.
No,
Barely. She tried.
Tarshara actually survived. She survived, and no
Look,
one. We only
She
had
did
one.
try to die in the last battle, though. She
She
did.
did. The long story short, we only had one permadeath, and it was actually one of those like he was a tortured soul, and he had the opportunity to finally be laid to rest, and it was his decision, and he took it, and it was a very emotional, wonderful moment. We all cried on stream. So
So
yeah, that's the only death that happened in that
yeah.
campaign, and it was beautiful. Thanks, Raven, for the emotions.
then come to find out later, he
Oh,
wasn't actually at rest.
before we
Thanks,
all
Rogan.
Yeah, thanks, Rojan, bastard.
before we all end up, crying on stream once more, there's other shows, right, that we have. Do you want to go off the list or shall I?
Nope, that's an end game thing.
Oh, I do at the beginning too now, actually.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
well,
gonna do it
I
at the
guess
beginning.
I've been
well,
doing it
you're
both.
weird. We do it at the end.
All right. Well, I guess less spam and less advertisement. Stick to the end if you guys want to hear the list of the shows. Then, all right.
I'll do that for you. How about that?
There we
There we
go.
go.
It's in the chat.
Voila. It's in the chat if you guys want to read it. If not, we'll verbalize it at the end. All right. Awesome sauce. So, are you ready to rumble?
Yep.
Okay.
Sure.
So
Ready as I'll ever
You
be.
ready for my dice to kill someone else?
Pose. So I see how it is. Okay.
Look, they tried to kill my character last Thursday too. No one's safe.
Your lucky cannonball decided to open that book and keep it open because he doesn't care about blood all that much. Ay, ay, ay. Or not really, because you know.
It's fine. This is fine. Everything's fine.
I have no idea what all that stuff's gonna do to me later, but you know what? We already have very little of our soul left, so you know what's a little bit more. All right. Speaking of, you know, crying our eyes out, let's talk about today. So for those of you who weren't with us last time, quick little recap. Davi, our Miraluka Jedi Way of the Manipulation counselor, unfortunately, has passed on, shall we say. He unfortunately did not survive, you know, violently bludgeoning the Soul Saber as it detonated and took her life and nearly that of the rest of the crew.
We were in the splash zone, yeah.
Correct. Thankfully, thankfully, I'd rather it didn't take her life, but thankfully a little bit of a silver lining. Only hers was taken by the weapon as it you know, detonated.
is it weird that I almost hoped for a TPK just for the record that we had a TPK?
You know, I was kind of on the fence about it. Again, the dice thankfully were not that bloodthirsty, but considering the dice pool that explosion had, the TPK was a very real possibility, unfortunately.
I mean, I was definitely almost Bliatkid, so
Yeah.
that would have been fun.
Yeah, we almost lost two. Thankfully, you know, Zuri was a little tougher. So that wasn't so bad. Question, Tam.
Yes.
The name of your new character, please.
Zizu?
Zizu. All right.
Oh, you wrote down ZZ for me.
Yeah, I was about to say that's
You
that's not what that word
wrote
means. All right,
ZZ.
moving on.
Give me a moment while I change that.
That is a French name for male genitalia.
Oh.
Wait, what is Zizu or ZZ?
Zizi.
You have Zizu on the little card going through.
Zizu's fine. Yeah, it's just on the main background that you have her basically named as
Oh.
penis right now.
Did I?
I'm a penis.
French people.
I mean,
ZZ's
last week-
for penis, wee wees for yes. I don't get it.
Bruh, look, I never said it made sense. It is what it is. I didn't write it or invent it. Oh,
It's
yeah,
okay, I
yeah.
can fix this. Carry on.
All right, we can do it on break or whatever. No problem.
No, I can do it live. It's cool.
Oh, you do it
Even
live. You're like,
though-
yeah, that's not
do it
allowed to
live.
live.
Here. Fuck it, we do it
Do
live.
it live.
Good time, good time. All right, so yeah, we had ended last time, like I said, after a couple of visits. Sorry about that. About after a
keeping
couple
you
of no, it's yeah, it's already 11 p.m. and last night I had a hard time sleeping. So yes, you guys had visited both Alia and Brick, right? Not all of you, but some of you.
Yeah,
And
I went and visit Brick.
yes, and Orta visited Alia. Orta had also finally crafted his lightsaber. A
Mhm.
beautiful cross-guarded purple lightsaber with a black core at the center of the blade.
Dun dun dun.
That
Dun,
being
dun,
said, Orta, you had basically gone back to your. Well, you spent most of the night doing that, and I'm assuming going back to your chambers in the French wee, early hours of the morning here. Zuri, what would you have been doing at that point, considering everything that had happened? Because you weren't really there last session, so
No,
I'm
but
kind
I
of
did
like, how would
say-
you? Yeah.
I did say that she was with Garm and bringing him comfort from the loss of Davi.
Very good.
Oh, why is
Yes.
she now?
Mibba was trying to get in touch with Garm in order to see about Davi's light blue kyber crystal.
Yeah. So again, after Davi's death, Garm was not reachable, right? And nobody answered the door when you went to knock. So I'm assuming Mabel just went back to his quarters for the evening.
Yeah, he went back to his quarters and started looking up his weapons stuff again.
Yep.
To which I still need a amount of time for studying on that.
Yep.
I guess, or
Yep. No problem.
Oh no! What's happening?
What?
Huh?
What?
Is his camera being all weird? Tilts?
Who? What?
No, it's just
No.
me. Just me.
No?
Okay.
Yeah, that's a you problem for once.
Everyone, take the screenshots. More memes to come.
No,
No,
not
he's like
again.
pixelated. I can't
Not
see him.
again.
Oh, that might be
Nah, it looks
your
fine over
Discord
here.
rendering, maybe.
Yeah, that's on your end because on the
Yeah.
stream I see it all look normal right now.
I see all. Well, normal's
See everything.
normal's.
I didn't
close
say I
to what it
looked good. I said it looked normal. Step hard for the course. Thank you.
does. That is
All
what I
right,
was
so
told.
I don't know how to
You
fix
know
this,
what?
so it's just gonna happen.
Let it happen. Just let
because I
It's fine.
smile, I crack the camera. You know, the usual. All right, so jokes aside, you guys, yes, all had retired to the various locations you have chosen to retire to for the evening, and then you end up, well, eventually waking up as morning does eventually catch up to you guys. You do get a message on your individual comm links, you know, suggesting politely that we all meet at the mess once people wake up and have a little bit of breakfast while we discuss the plans for the day. Signed, Garm.
Oh, he's
this
back.
time Mibba will wake up and go get his coffee a little early.
Okay.
Yeah. I assume Zuri is already with Garm helping out, so yeah.
That is correct.
I
Okay.
mean, Orta's still going through
When
his morning
Mibble
routine.
does see Garm, he will ask about the kyber crystal.
Garm's gonna raise an eyebrow and say, "What kyber crystal?"
During our adventures to find Zuri's master, we had picked up some kyber crystals, and she had a light blue one. I
Okay.
was kind of hoping to get a hold of it, and I was thinking of maybe giving it to Brick, as it seemed that the two of them had gotten close.
He looks at you for a long moment, nods, and hands you a small leather pouch. Inside of it is a light blue kyber crystal.
Mibble will take it and thank him and say, I'm sure Brick would really appreciate it. Although I will have a bit of a talk with him once he's out of jail as well. To which I hope we can possibly get him out of there a little sooner than later.
He attempted murder. We'll have to talk about this at another time. Right now, unfortunately, I have bigger and more pressing concerns.
Of course. Yeah. Understandable.
I'm assuming by that point Orta would arrive.
Yeah, I was probably doing my thing for a bit, helping out in the library where I could, keeping my mind clear.
So, once you join up, Garm will look at you. Do you have your lightsaber at your belt right now?
Yes.
So when you walk in with your lightsaber, he will look at you and he'll smile. He'll say, "Oh, congratulations."
My thanks. It was a long night's work.
And you finished it in a single night. Impressive. Most people take several days to complete their lightsaber, and that's considered fast.
It There was not much I wanted to sleep about at that time, so I just took perhaps more time than I should have to get it done at a healthy rate, perhaps. Rested now, at least.
Nope. Do make sure there's no defect in its construction. I've seen a lightsaber explode once. It's not pretty.
I've seen one explode once as well. No, I won't say that.
Very good.
I do intend to bring it to the masters to give it a look over once I have the opportunity. I appreciate your guidance on the matter.
Very well. We'll talk about that later as well. I actually asked you all to come here today this morning, because this evening we will be holding a ceremony for the departed.
Are we going to do the same for her sister?
Considering her remains were kept in the hold of the ship, I believe it is appropriate. Along with the other Padawan and Jedi that died. As obviously Davi was not the only one, unfortunately. I mean, it's unfortunate that anybody died, but you know what I mean. That being said... Oh, sorry, please, go ahead.
What can I do in the meantime, then?
Well, I'm getting to that, unfortunately. As you're aware, there's still two very powerful dark side force users at large. Not to mention Alia, which, for now anyway, the Council has decided will be staying in our custody here on Tython.
How is her state of mind? I'm curious.
Oddly enough, now that she's been separated from the Soul Saber, it seems to be absolutely normal. Which also has disturbing implications.
Indeed.
All right. That's good so far.
Right. I'd still much rather have her, and I agree with the Council that keeping her where we can actually keep an eye on her is definitely more interesting right now.
Understandable.
So, the other piece of news I have for you is the Temple has received word from the Republic.
Oh. What's been said?
Well, considering the recent attack on Datuine and the eradication of the Temple there, considering the current attack we've just weathered on Tython a few days ago, well, yesterday, they have actually sent us one of their operatives, and we are going to be, unfortunately, reacting at this point. As staying on the defensive here seems to be, well, a costly strategy.
So they are coming to us then, here on Tython.
Correct, and we will be leaving with them on a series of preemptive missions that hopefully will prevent such disaster from happening again.
Do we know where the other two Sith went?
No, and that's going to be the first thing. It's going to be finding their whereabouts.
So when
Yes.
is this person supposed to arrive?
He looks at his, data pad, clearly looking at the time, then looks back at you guys and says, a few minutes from now, actually. And yes, Mibble, that means overtime. Yes.
Sorry that we have to put you to work so often?
You'd think I would get a bit of a break after what just happened.
Oh. Well. No time to rest, unfortunately.
No.
Seems that way.
Garm's, rugged face kind of nods solemnly here as he kind of scratches the stubble of a beard he's got going right now. And he takes a few minutes to look at the group. And it's the eyeless stare of a Miraluka, obviously. So it's a little unnerving for people who aren't used to it, but it almost looks like he's looking through you, And he has this, happy, satisfied smile where he says, well, considering it's you guys, though, I'm sure you'll manage just fine when it comes to these tasks.
Very well.
I've made sure your ship, and Mibble, you can double check it. I've made sure your ship will be fitted with a hyperspace communicator. That'll eliminate any sort of latency when it comes to reporting back here to the Jedi Council on Tython and to myself. And as much as I detest having to stay here, well, he kind of gives Zuri a little smile and he says, Jedi politics, unfortunately.
Understood.
So all of you, please, do me a huge favor. After what happened, watch each other's backs, keep each other alive.
Do our best.
Nibble just nods.
He gives Zuri a little bit of a, I won't say ironic smile, but sarcastic smile, but like, duh.
It was always my intent to do so.
Right.
Just fell flat on its few occasions.
Just be honest with each other. Don't hide things from each other. Watch each other's backs and come back alive.
Well, that last one is definitely a thing we're going to try to do.
I do hope so. The way he said that last, couple of sentences about, be honest with each other, help each other, blah, blah, blah. It has a little bit of that, actually, can you roll me...
An insight roll, perhaps?
Yeah, some form of an insight roll. Let's see here.
Is this everybody?
Yeah, give me an insight roll.
17.
Okay.
I didn't even bring up my character sheet.
Unbelievable.
12.
Unacceptable.
I remembered my dice this time.
I was about to say, you at least have your dice.
No, I remembered my dice.
Good,
This time.
good.
I did it last night, so I wouldn't forget.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that I'll take though. 26.
Ooh, very nice. So anybody here who rolled above a 15, you realize that Master Garm's tones when he says this, they have a little bit of that vibe you hear when, Jedi Masters give out prophecies coming from the Force. And on that
Sure, we'll
note,
take note of this.
yeah. And on that note, you hear footsteps coming towards you guys, and you see a four-armed creature, humanoid, called a Corduji that will be approaching you here. Fun little distinctive feature about this one: she has a pair of ears that would be not unlike those of a Malamute. And yeah, she will walk up to you guys, and I will let Gilatam take it from here.
Fluffy puppy. For those who don't know what that is, fluffy dog.
Yes, big floof.
Big floof.
Big floof.
Google it, you
So
will not
Nibble's
regret
not
it.
the only fuzzy one here.
Just the ears. So walking up, as Tilt described, was a four-armed humanoid. She has tan skin, black hair, and with just these fuzzy little Malamute ears. popping out the top. She has a couple blasters on her sides, and she kind of walks up with intent and how do I describe it? I don't want to use the word swagger, but she does walk up confidently and like she knows this is where she is meant to be right now.
Yeah, that well-practiced walk of somebody who's had to walk the walk.
Yes.
That purposeful walk, yes. And as she does, Garm will turn towards her and says, "Ah, right on time." And he looks back, at the rest of the group. Everyone, meet your Republic liaison, Zizu.
Is this the crew I'm meant to head out with?
He'll nod. Oh, go ahead, Orta.
No, it's fine. Go on.
Mibble just raises an eyebrow a little and goes back to sipping his coffee.
You were saying, Orta?
Liaison, I was expecting some sort of, politician or even another Jedi.
Sometimes politicians don't quite get the job done.
Seems her kind of like do a little corner smile. She doesn't say it out loud, but the smile's just kind of like, yeah.
Garm, after his
Technically,
previous...
you got like kind of 2 Jedis here already, so.
Garm, after his previous comment about, the Jedi Council, also smiles.
Can't say I've traveled with a crew like this, but I think we can make it work.
Well,
Hopefully.
I'll leave you all in Zizu's very capable hands, I'm sure. I do expect those of you who do want to be here to show up at sundown, as that's when we will be starting the funeral ceremony for the departed. In the meantime, I have unfortunately a lot of things I must see to. I will leave you all here, and I will see you all later. May the Force be... Wow. May the Force be with you all.
May
I will
the
try
4th?
not...
We ain't there
Yeah.
yet.
Soon.
Hey, we got 4 characters. It's okay.
Right?
I mean, this is the 4th with us. Yeah, that's true.
Yes, correct. May the Force be with all of you 4.
And with your spirit.
No!
Right. And with your spirit. Damn it! Yep. Okay. So on that note, yeah, Garm here will bow very lightly in front of all of you, smile very quickly at Zuri, and exit left, as one would say, leaving you 4 to make acquaintances of one another. Go ahead.
Is still sipping his coffee.
My condolences. I heard you recently lost a member of your team.
Indeed.
Thank you. It is appreciated. Yes, the one that we were laying to rest. However, she saved a lot of lives the other day, so we are grateful. I'm sorry, I don't think we quite caught your name.
Oh, I'm Zizu.
Zizu, a pleasure. I am Zuri.
Well met. I am Orta Nai.
Middle.
Nice to meet you. Do you have a ship around here I could get acquainted with, or are we waiting for one to be assigned to us?
Yeah, we got a ship. I'm pretty much the pilot for it.
Is it in working order, though, after moving the other day?
Well, it was good enough to fly back. I didn't have any trouble. Although I would probably check a few things, since it did have some trouble taking off due to those, what's it called? Let's just say I don't have very nice things to say about those guys.
Not many do. If it's not too insensitive of me, I would like to get a little settled. A place to throw my bags.
Alright. You can follow me to the ship. And
I think Zerker stay behind for this and let Nibble kind of do their thing.
so Mibble will basically turn and while he's still sipping his coffee, will lead Zizu to the ship.
Okay, so Mibble, you'll be bringing Zizu to the ship. Then obviously, I mean, you guys have seen what the ship looks like before. But Zizu, you can see this thing's basically built for functionality over aesthetics. It's bristling. It's got quite a few turrets. It's heavily armored, and a decent transport ship, from what you can tell.
And she'll take all that in without saying much. Assuming Mibble does it, she'll follow Mibble to a quarter she can call her own and kind of get settled.
Now, Mibble, which room do you give Zizu Davi's old room, or do you put her in a different room?
How many free rooms do we have left? Or do we pretty
How's
much
the
use
ship?
them all?
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
how big is it?
You've got about eight crew rooms. 6 of them are currently occupied, quote unquote, because of Garm.
I would give her a new room.
Okay.
Leave Davi's alone for now.
And then the last one was Bricks, actually. So this is the last free room, actually, that we had.
Womp womp.
Many
Thank
cookies
God.
now.
So she'll get settled. Probably look around the room. She'll probably find some sort of panel or whatever she can find that's a little loose where she can stash a few things without it being just out in the open. Just it's like she does it without even really thinking about it. It's just kind of natural for her to find a place to hide things.
We also have
Okay.
a bit of a safe, although I gotta check to see if it's still intact.
I find safes are the first place people look. I like to find my own place.
True, but still.
I don't know, man. I always look under people's mattresses.
That's why I said the
You-
panels. The
I
sock
never
drawer.
happen to sock drawers. Thank you. This one gets it.
If it's separate from your underwear drawer, the underwear drawer.
Yep.
Just put it
So-
in a manila folder with the labeled taxes.
There you go. That's the one.
No one ever wants to look at that shit.
Right.
No.
Damn it, now I gotta hide my... Good times. Alright. So, that being said, again, classic memes aside here. Yeah, so that'll be that on that side of things. Zuri and Orta, you guys are basically kind of standing there hanging out with each other right now. What do you guys do here?
Honestly, Orta's probably kind of listless at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Just with everything that has gone on, it's kind of hard to think of what to
Mm-hmm.
do or say.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Zuri, what about you? Any ideas?
Oh, that's a good question. She will probably spend part of her time meditating, kind of reflecting of the events. She has ideas, but she does not want to act on them.
You can DM me some of those if you want.
Well, they're obvious.
When you got a minute.
but yeah, well, obvious
Mhm.
to you, but yeah.
Mhm.
I think, just because I'm so close,
Mm-hmm.
I will study my. Actually, this actually goes hand in hand. I'm gonna work on my lore proficiency, but I'm going to study up what I can in the library. I know it's limited, if not non-existent, but look up things that has to do once again with the Sun and Soul Sleeper and
Mhm.
just studying that really, and anything else that could be connected to them, like people of interest in history, where the have been passed off to potentially, and other parts of power that are both of the light and dark side order.
Right, and Orta, if I remember correctly, last session you had talked to the librarian. Maybe they have information by this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I thought you meant like, how would I interact? How would Zuri and Orta interact in this particular situation? Now that it's just them hanging out after like the whole after talking about the evening.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking about. But if it's
Up
like
to
just
you.
in general stuff,
No, you guys
yeah, it'd
have the
be going
freedom to
to
do
the.
whatever you want. I give you guys a sandbox. What you do with it is entirely up to you. Case in
Yeah, I
point,
was.
Davi.
Yeah, I was just saying that that's what I meant when I said I didn't. He wouldn't know what to
Mm-hmm.
talk about or anything. However, if it's just general stuff going on that day, he would
Mm-hmm.
go to the library. He would also just spend a lot of time meditating
Okay.
with his new lightsaber.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Well, in that case, yeah, both Orta and Zuri at this point, following what happened, obviously the librarian kind of said F it to the forbidden section, like rules here, and then got the information for you guys.
Like I like to imagine we were about to like part ways, and then we just both started walking the same way towards the library.
There you go, yeah.
It's like when we say goodbye, but our cars are
Awkward.
parked in the same parking lot. We're like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
That.
Exactly.
What's up?
So what brings you to the library?
I still don't know much about the powerful artifact that is the Soul and Sun Saber, and I just have this feeling that it's not over. After all, I don't think that they're gonna stop that. I think there's more going on here, so I'd like to do more study, see what else that could potentially be linked to them, or see what the Saber's original abilities and purposes were, to the point where there could be alternatives the Sith may be trying to use. So it'd be best to prepare, at least. What about you?
Indeed. I am trying to see if there is a way to heal a saber, heal a kyber crystal.
You mean like the one that you collected the other day? The one that's sort of dim?
Yes. It feels, how to put it? I don't feel right abandoning it just because it's a bit dimmer. It doesn't feel fair.
Well, I do believe that there are ways to heal crystals. I mean, it happens. It's not a very common thing. But most of the time they're completely corrupted or not, while this one seems to be in a weird limbo of in between. So, I think that there's faith to heal it, perhaps, as long as no darker energies feed towards it to go further into the corrupted side.
Indeed.
But it'd be good to perhaps research that, because I don't know if you wielding it is from your positive or negative energies, or it's the energies surrounding it. It's very difficult to say. It's a little bit out of my area of expertise, to be honest.
I've just always heard it's you give what you get. So I'm hoping that giving the right will get the light.
Well, here's hoping. Optimistic about it for you.
How would you look at that? It's the librarian. Hello, librarian.
I was about to say, at that point, the
Oh,
librarian
look,
walked
we're
up to you.
here.
Excellent, perfect timing, the usual. So, on that note, the librarian walks up to you with that, calm, measured pace that those who have climbed the ranks of the Jedi Order seem to achieve. Almost like they're all taught to walk on the same metronome, tempo. But yeah, no, she will walk up to you guys and smile. nod at Orta and say, well, I did what I could, and I did find a few things.
My thanks.
Two things. First of all, we only have recorded evidence of one master ever being really able to heal, per se, kyber crystals. His
Rare
name,
indeed.
unfortunately, was stricken from the records. But, thankfully, I was able to somewhat, how do I say, piece together his probable destination.
That is good news.
She nods. Well,
Well,
I was gonna let
she
him
pull-
finish if anything was. I was like, what's going on?
she pulls out a small data chit from her robes and says, the info's on here. But she doesn't quite give it to you right away. She kind of looks at you.
yes.
Sorry, with everything that's happened, Padawan, remind me once more, why do you need this information?
Perhaps partially my own curiosity, part bullheadedness. It doesn't feel right to me to abandon something.
She kind of looks
that
at your
can be
hip, then
helped.
back. Yeah, she kind of looks at your hip, then back at you. Problems with the new lightsaber?
Yes, but this was stemmed from something long before.
He gives you a slow smile with an understanding nod before, putting the chip into your hand and closing your fingers over it. And then she'll take a look at Zuri and say, well, was there anything else I can do for you both today?
Well, from last time I was here, I was interested in more knowledge on
Mhm.
the artifacts known as the Soul and Sun Saber. It was told
Right.
perhaps I would have greater access this time around, at least for just today, if nothing else. I am hopeful.
So she'll give you a little smile and she'll say, sorry, we have absolutely no records of either of these. But you can see she's giving you a smile. And she'll tap, Orta's closed hands that has the data chip and say, however, I think you'll both find that following this trail might lead you to what you're looking for.
She'll nod. Appreciate it. I will do that. I appreciate it.
She'll smile and nod. Very good. Well, I believe that concludes our little talk, unless there's something else any of you need.
There was nothing else I needed. In return for this, if you need any help with sorting the records or anything, please let me know.
She'll smile at you and say, well, from what I've heard of the Council's decisions, you have bigger problems sorting books coming your way. I'll be fine.
Fair enough. Once again, thank you for looking into this.
I was actually also wondering if we could look into other types of artifacts, not just the sabers.
Oh?
Perhaps anything of the, well, Sith or Jedi variety that are similar. Not just in make, but just similar properties as the other sabers.
She looks at you and furrows her brow. And what kind of artifact are you talking about exactly, dear?
That's the thing, I do not know. That's why I would like to study if there is something else out there that is similar to what the Soul Saber is capable of doing. Maybe not as powerful, maybe even more powerful, but something similar.
Well, I've never heard of an artifact beyond the Soul Saber being capable of doing what it does. However, there are records from not too long ago, actually, a few years ago. Um, my brain's a little fuzzy on how long ago exactly that was, but um, I think it goes back to the time of Revan, and she'll put a few things in her data pad herself as it boots up and sends her a response, and it says, "Ah, yes, there was a Sith that was capable of doing something very similar, actually, to entire planets. I believe he was named Nihilus."
Why does that
And-
name trigger me so?
And
Oh,
if
I remember. Yep. Okay.
and if the archives are to be believed, he was able to drain the force energy of entire planets to sustain his hunger.
Interesting.
A broken creature, unfortunately, just like many others.
What happened?
She shakes her head. For Siths, power comes at a cost.
Well, first I think I look up about this Nihilus. It would be good to study on, I think.
Well, once again, one capable of draining the force and the life out of creatures around it is terrifying in and of itself. I don't think it's necessarily the best thing to study. But if you do insist, here's the file, and she will give you another little data chip.
I appreciate it. But she does give a bow.
She'll nod and she'll say, "Do be careful with knowledge, Padawan. It could be a powerful shield or a powerful sword.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Make sure it's not turned back on you." And on that note, she'll 180 and walk back towards the library.
Oh.
Mibble. Yep. Go ahead.
Oh, she was just gonna turn
Yep.
to
There you go. Ahead, please.
Orta and say like, well, would it be weird if we became study buddies? Or would you prefer to just find your own room? I don't want to impose.
I would not mind the company. Having someone to bounce ideas off of often helps with the learning process.
I'd enjoy that.
Very good.
And just stick with Orta and go find a place to sit.
Probably good places to study in the library. So we have that awkward moment walking the same direction as the library.
We're just following. Get out!
Okay. On that note, Mibble. On that note, tongue twister. On that note, Mibble and Zizu, you are in the ship. Zizu, your official mission reminder is to, yes, find and either apprehend or eliminate the two Sith. The two remaining Sith that have been, raiding Jedi academies. At least on the surface. There's another little thing, but we're going to keep that for DMs, not to ruin it for everybody else. On the flip side, the problem is, again, the trail stopped at Tython, so you kind of have to figure out where to go next, if that makes any sense.
I think she's AFK.
Whoops. I did not see that. Okay, well, we will repeat that when she gets back. No pressure.
After Mibble gives Zizu the tour of the ship and whatnot, he'll go to his quarters that's on the ship and just maybe look into his weapon book a bit.
Okay. Is there anything in particular you'd like to do, or you're just gonna do some studying real quick?
There is a certain weapon that I'm thinking about building, which
Okay.
I'll run across to you later.
Okay. You can always DM that stuff to me while we're playing, and I'll get back to you ASAP.
All right.
Yep. Very good. On that note, we're gonna try to wait a few seconds for Zizu to come back before we move on to the funeral, as it is her character. You after a little while.
Sorry. I was
No, go
memeing.
ahead.
Don't worry about it. I
No,
was
no, go ahead,
literally
go
just making.
Speak up.
I was
I want
just
to hear the
making a
meme.
joke.
Speak up.
Oh no, Zizu's already dead. We're
Right.
going to their funeral. Anyways,
All
so
right.
much build up for nothing.
Right.
If you want, we could take a short break.
You know what? At the time that it is right now, let's do that. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back. That'll give Zizu a little bit of time, hopefully,
It's
to
an
put
hour
Babu
into it, so
down.
that's not
Yep,
bad.
and come back. Yep, let's do that.
Okay. We'll be back in a bit, guys.
Ciao.
And we are back
Hello.
On the dot.
on the dot.
I do have to hand it to Zoro, punctual as always.
Try.
You succeed. All right. So, I have received confirmation that Zizu can hear us, so we will still go ahead and proceed. As you guys go through your day getting all that information, the day speeds by fairly quickly, and I'll explain what you guys have discovered, by the way, when we get there. When we get there, when appropriate, Zuri Orta, but I did not forget, I promise.
I'm also,
Um,
for the record, doing this for my proficiency.
yes, you told me. I remember.
Okay.
Roll me the dice, if you don't mind for that. Then
What am I rolling? Don't remember. Hey, hello.
yes.
I said, what am I rolling? I don't remember.
Oh, let me pull it up. I thought you remembered, but fine, I will do it myself.
No.
Um,
Been a hot minute since I last did this.
Yeah, me too. So this is why I'm like, let me pull up the notes because I don't remember.
I don't know.
Um, I know I use the same system that Erosion usually use. I just don't remember what it is right now.
I think if I remember correctly, he does 1 or 2 is a 1, 3 and 4 is a 2 success, and a 5 and a 6 are a 3 success.
I think that's what it is, yeah. Yeah, go ahead then. Give me the d6.
I am spending all day doing this, so just out of curiosity, how many times do you want me to?
Well, you're not spending the entire day, but yes, the morning and / afternoon until sundown.
Most of that day. Oh no, wait! I'm so sorry. No, you did it. You did it based on hours.
Yeah, that's it.
I see the note. Okay, so how many
Yeah.
hours can I spend on this?
Well, breakfast, etc. I'm assuming by the time everybody's done talking or done talking with the librarian and then walking back to do your studying with Orta, I would assume you at least spent maybe like 2 hours of your morning, doing all the blabbing and everything. So if I do the math, sundown, you probably have between 6 to 8 hours. I'll say 6 to be on the safe side.
So close. Okay.
And we'll go from there.
Okay. I mean, I also do want to know information, but
Yes,
I
which
just
I'll
finally
give
saw
you.
my notes. It says it's on hours. I'm like, oh, dummy.
I'll give you guys to it. I'll give you guys the data again after the funeral part, just so we
Right.
can keep everything kind of somewhat compartmentalized. But yes, we'll go from there. Give me 1 second. I have to just send the link for this thing to. There we go. Okay, so that being said, on that note, yep. Okay, so you'll get your 6 hours, and we will go on to this to the funeral section at this point. So you guys at sundown are all invited, obviously, to kind of meet out in the very same courtyard, where everything went down. And you see that the temple's been hard at work cleaning out the place and prepping it, for the evening here. As you see several funeral pyre, for lack of better terminologies, that have been erected here, and obviously not lit yet, but they're all there. And on top of each, you either have the dead body of the Jedi / Padawan that was killed, or their effects if no body was left. A little picture of them, maybe hollow picture of them, maybe, like kind of coming out of a hollow projector, just so people can know who this was. Um, and of course, everybody kind of lines up. It's almost like, there was like, I won't say bleachers, but like seats that were brought out, for everybody to sit in front. And at that point, everybody's kind of grouping up by sundown, and the majority of the temple is either there or, sitting in those chairs, or standing around, or standing behind the chairs. But you basically have the whole temple showing up at this point, and it's very quiet. It's very solemn. You could hear a penny drop. Or should I say credit drop? But at this point, you'll see, Master Garm kind of walk up and solemnly address everybody here. And he'll say, Jedis or Jedi Padawans, our dear and valuable support staff. What happened yesterday was an atrocity. It's not something that anybody should ever have to go through in their existence, in their lives. The fact that it's happened twice to our Jedi temples in such a short span of time, well, it's something unfortunately the Council could not stay idle to anymore, and a proper response will be set forward or set into motion. However, this is not about that. This is about those who yesterday valiantly gave their lives to keep the rest of us alive as much as possible. And at that point, he does go through the list, of the names of the deceased. And he keeps Davi at the end, and he does say, and I'd like to make a special mention for Davi here. She had the unfortunate experience of losing a close loved one, her twin sister, mere days before the attack here, on another savage attack on the Academy on Tatooine. And when we were attacked here by the Sith, she figured what they wanted and destroyed it to prevent it from falling into their hands, giving her life in the process. This incredible act has saved enormous amounts of lives and should not be forgotten, for many more of you would not be standing today if it were not for her actions. And to all of those we lost yesterday, well, may you be one with the Force, and may it be with you always. And on that note, almost as if, kind of coordinated or choreographed, right? Each of the funeral pyre's attendant, if you want to call it that, turns on their lightsaber and uses the superheated plasma to basically ignite, the funeral pyres. And as the smoke begins to rise, you hear the crackling of the fire, and the sun finishes setting, of course. And the courtyard you guys are standing in is now obviously illuminated by those bonfires, those funeral pyres. And you see smoke rising slowly towards, the sky. And can I get a quick perception check from you guys?
All of
Real
us.
quick. Yes. I know, right in the middle of the funeral, right in the middle of the funeral perception check.
12.
Natural 20 for 26.
Okay.
I don't want to be that guy, but natural 20 for 27.
Yeah. No one likes to
Except
show
one
off.
thing.
I didn't want to. The dice were sassy. I'm sorry.
It's not just the dice that are sassy.
Ooh.
Literally one upped.
Oh no,
So
we have
on
2
that
natural
note-
20s on a perception check. Damn.
On that note, every single one of you will actually see this, as you'll see in that smoke a very faint outline of two silhouettes standing hand in hand. Two hooded silhouettes standing hand in hand. And you could have almost swore that you see them waving at you guys before they turn around, blur with the smoke, and disappear.
Must have been the wind.
And it's one of those situations where you're not sure if you saw what you saw or if it's the smoke, stinging your eyes or wishful thinking, but you'll probably stay there for a little while longer, as those funeral pyres finish burning out. And on that note, you'll see a white-haired woman. Very graceful in both her appearance and her walk and her demeanor. Those of you who
What
have
race
the
is she?
knowledge. Yeah, I was. Those of you who do have the knowledge here, give me a
Patience, young
minute.
Padawan.
I will tell you. That would probably be a lore check. So roll me a little lore check, and if you guys get above a 10, I'll tell everybody. But those who roll above a 10 will know in character. But you guys can. You rolled low here.
No, I was
That's
just
B.
like, oh fuck. Well, now you had to jinx me. Yeah. Got a 5.
Oof.
Not to be that guy, but I got a 14.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say 4.
Right, imagine.
Right?
No, she
I
rolls
rolled
a 5. He's
part.
like, not to be that guy, but I rolled a 6. Revenge of the dice.
That's great.
Dice lead to the dark side, didn't you know? So, those of you who rolled high enough anyway can identify her as being an Ichani. And she'll walk up specifically to, Davi and Navi's funeral pyres. And with her back turned to the rest of you guys, she'll bow in front of the pyres. A long, drawn-out affair that takes probably a good 2 minutes. Before she stands up, whispers "May the Force be with you both." And then she walks off.
Zuri will lean over to Garm. Who is that?
He takes a few seconds to... He was obviously deep in thoughts and takes a few seconds to kind of like recalibrate, quote unquote, himself back to reality, if I can call it that.
There goes gravity.
Yeah, and then he kind of leans, sideways to kind of whisper back to Zuri, and he simply says, "Oh, she was Davi's master."
I see.
It's the reason we waited so long to hold the procession, so she had time to come here from off-world. Thankfully, she wasn't too far away, or this would have been an affair that would have taken a few more days.
Of course. She'll just kind of watch the woman for a moment.
Well, she walks off. She does the thing, and then she walks off. She doesn't stay.
Well, bitch. Okay.
What a terrible person. Their Padawan just died, and they're kind of mourning. Horrible.
It's an Echani culture thing. They don't quite function with regards to death and combat and all that stuff the same way as most people do.
You'd like them, Horta. They do their emotions
How's-
through their fists.
Yeah, they don't
Like, no
grieve
joke.
like
No joke. They actually do it. They show their emotions through fighting. It's actually kind of funny.
Yep.
I don't know how you view me as a person, but I didn't think I came off that violent. My apologies.
I meant you mean monkey punch punch.
I resemble that comment.
You used to resemble that comment, not so much now, but yes. But all that to say, at this point, Mibble. Can you hear me?
Oh, they're muted.
Yeah, I know. I just had to get over there.
Muted.
Charge my headset enough.
Muted. Unacceptable. All right, I'll make this quick then. Yeah, you receive a little tag on your comlink, and you see that your overtime pay came through.
Okay.
I know, perfect timing, right? But you know, the Republic's administrative offices never sleep. And yep, you do get, you know, your overtime pay for the tune of 1,500 credits.
How much?
1,500.
15. Okay.
Not as much as you'd had hoped, but hey, it's better than not getting paid overtime.
Mhm.
And again, as expected of the Republic, right? um, and yeah, again, the evening will very slowly kind of stretch on. There will be a meal, a slightly less, you know, festive affair considering the mood of the evening. And once you guys retire, I mean, Orta, Zuri, you guys have a name for your next destination, as you know, you will probably be able to leave in the morning after making sure the ship's been resupplied. The data you guys got was ancient, and it pointed to the agricultural world, and I'm quoting this from the actual record, to the agricultural world of Kashyyyk. Or Kashyyyk.
Oh, damn. Kashyyyk. Yeah, Kashyyyk. Oh, shit.
And I do say agricultural world because before becoming the huge forest planet upon which the Wookiees live, it was actually an agricultural world once. And
Such a
something
terraformed
happened
bed, it's
that
fine.
made the agriculture go out of control, and it became a giant planet filled with forests and trees. But it was actually
It's a
it was
win-win.
actually an agricultural world once, funny enough.
It's a
You guys want to make
win-win.
a forest to grow out of control?
That's
Sorry?
how you make a forest go out of control.
Pretty much.
You guys want to claim the rights to making it so Kashyyyk becomes a forest world?
Oh no, it's already a forest world by the time you guys are there.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
what
saying that
is in the
the data
modern media?
predates it becoming a forest, is what I'm saying.
Hmm. Okay, and I'm sorry, is that for learning about certain artifacts, or is that learning about the healing crystal properties? Which part of the knowledge is this from?
Well, that's the funny tidbit. The person you're looking for that seems to be able to heal kyber crystals seems also to be directly linked with the Sun Saber you guys were chasing down. And the last sightings of him were on Kashyyyk. Oh, sorry, Kashyyyk. I can't pronounce it right. On
And this was
Kashyyyk.
for this was Nihilus. Is that what it was?
No, Nihilus was
No.
the Sith Lord. Because you were asking about anything that had properties similar to the Soul Saber in the sense of absorbing
Gotcha.
force and life energy. And so while there was no artifacts that they knew of that could do such a thing, there was a person who once did such things, and she pulled out the file from Nihilus's file for you.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I combined the two in my brain. Okay.
Hmm.
Perfect. Is there any way for me to find out if she has like temples and libraries I can research?
So that's the funny thing. This is included in the report that was given to you.
Oh.
Kashyyyk does not. It's a Wookiee house, a Wookiee planet. It's
Yeah.
technology level and everything are fairly low, and there again, if this guy went there before the whole planet became a giant, oversized, overgrown forest. And when I mean oversized, overgrown forest, I mean we're talking tree trunks the size of, apartment buildings.
Yeah. But being of
You
that kind
know,
of world, I wonder if they would have like temples or something. At least that's one of the things she'd be looking for.
I mean, the Wookiees might have like places that, are culturally important like that, but if you're looking for like a Jedi building or temple or whatever, if this guy built anything and left anything behind, predating the formation of the forests, you're going to find it in the lower levels of the forest, closest to the ground.
Challenge accepted. I don't know what the fuck just happened to the music.
Right.
It just got all weird. It's like look below in the center of the core. Game music. Okay. Well, drilling tools are a thing, but still, good to know. Okay.
So, on that note, yeah, you guys have a heading and a destination. So we will be going to the iconic world of Kashyyyk. Now, the other logic behind going there and still going after the Sunsaber was that, the other two seemed to be here to grab those artifacts and, kill a bunch of Jedi in the process if they could. So your priority would probably be to get that, out of their reach and hopefully use it potentially as bait or whatever to kind of get them to come after you guys. If, you don't find their trail on the way there, or bump into them at some point, and then, it becomes the game of cat and mouse again as to who's hunting who. But either way, it does leave you guys with, a few choices on what to do, but it does give you the bearing, the heading for the next step on your quest if you choose to go in that direction. Remember, the galaxy is a big place. You want to go to Coruscant first, you want to hit a casino planet first. I am not telling you guys where to fly. I'm just telling you the information that you have requested. For now, anyway, once you guys to Kashyyyk. And so, by morning, the ship will have been, refilled and resupplied.
Nibble does do a check to make sure things in the rear part of the ship are all right.
Yep, if you can give me a quick,
Technology?
yeah, give me a quick technology roll.
I got 19 for 29.
Oh, good. Zizu, overnight,
Yeah.
you will have gotten a message from your handler with Republic intelligence.
Okay.
And it indicates that the highest priority in this mission is is not recovery of the artifacts, but elimination and apprehension of those two Siths that have been going around killing a bunch of people.
Does it
And
specify
that-
which they prefer?
Hmm?
Okay,
No.
when it's dead or alive, but do they have a preference?
It's dead or captured. No, they did not mention a preference. What they did mention, though, is that, again, artifact recovery is secondary, and if destruction of artifact aids in capture or killing of these guys, then the artifacts don't have to survive, despite what the Jedi think.
Okay.
As you know, politics is a fine game where what's more important is, your end goal and not what your neighbor wants. That being said, you all meet once more at the mess for breakfast before boarding. Garm's there too. He sees you guys kind of approach. And he looks at you all and he says, well, I did manage to scrounge up a few goodies to give you all before you leave. Well,
Please?
well, yes, of course.
What kind of gifts are they?
Simple little things I managed to scrounge up to hopefully help your odds on your journey. I'm sure you guys can split them English, please. Split them amongst yourselves. Jesus. I will speak today, I promise, just not right now. And he'll hand you, like I said, a small bag, within which you will find the following. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Notepads are out? Alright. So, you'll find the following. You will find one and this one is for you, or well, not directly for you, but wink, wink at Orda.
Implied.
You will find one focus lens,
Call back.
a familiar-looking focus lens to be exact.
Aww.
You will also find what's this thing called? I'm trying to remember the proper name for it, but give me one sec. There it is. So you'll find what's called a cryogenic power cell.
What does that do?
It adds 1d8 of frost damage to the weapon.
Power cells are specifically the ammo used in blasters.
Oh,
Actually,
blasters
it's
only.
No, it's actually used in any weapon, any energy weapon. You need a power
Yeah.
a power source. So your lightsabers have them. Actually, if you remember, Obi-Wan in Phantom Menace forgot to charge his, and his lightsaber wasn't turning on, and Qui-Gon kind of gave him shit for it, sort of like you should have plugged your phone last night.
Nice.
I knew you'd say something. See, I dangled the bait, and you took it so easily. I knew you wouldn't miss the. I knew you wouldn't miss it. Also, in there you will find. What is that thing called? You will find one fine polarized bracer. Sorry. This works using a shield slot, and what it does is it reduces by 1 any non-physical damage, so energy, fire, electricity, ice, like that sort of stuff.
Wait, sorry, what is this again?
It is called a fine polarized bracer. You will not find it on the 5e website.
No, I know that. I'm typing it down. And it reduces the damage. What?
-1 to basically non-physical damage. So anything that's not bludgeoning, slashing, or piercing.
Okay.
Reminder also that all these items can be improved on and or upgraded and or played with if you've got the relevant armor and or weaponsmithing skills, by the way. This is their base forms. You will also find +2 mid packs. Or should I call them Colto packs? If we want to be...
Are they the basic cult packs?
They are the basic Colto packs right now.
How many did you
Okay.
say?
2.
Thank you.
Which, no doubt, Zuri will grab and never share with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing new.
Goddamn right.
See, I just baited myself there.
Hey. As soon as you said,
Nobody
they're like,
said so.
those are mine.
Right? And you will also find... Oh, 1 second. Sorry, this one I have to double check because it's actually an in-game item. There we are. There we go. Sorry, the list is extremely long, and I have to just get to the part where those items are. So just give me 2 seconds, and I'll have it for you.
You're good.
Those are all the weapons I want.
Imagine not being prepared.
No, it's not that.
Teasing,
It's because
teasing.
it's because the other item I rolled for you guys to get is no longer relevant because of some of the decisions you guys made. So now I'm like, oh crap, I can't give them that anymore. I have to like give them something else. It's the old without knowing it, you kind of made the train take a little detour off the tracks. We'll get it back on. That's fine. But it's I have to now like there we go. Got them. Okay. We're good. Upgrade items. There we go. Yes. Okay. Now. That's what we were looking for. Okay. There we go. Okay. Thank you for your patience. The last thing in the bag appears to be an emitter.
An emitter? Okay.
Mibble, can you please give me a tech roll?
$27.
You realize that this emitter is most probably used in lightsabers. As this is a deflection emitter.
Interesting.
What it does is it improves the check that you guys can make with your lightsabers to deflect blaster bolts using certain force powers and whatnot. It gives a +1 to projectile energy deflection. Again, this can be upgraded. All these things can be upgraded. This is like the basic version of all of these. This one, for example, can be upgraded to give you all the way up to a +4 to blaster bolt deflection. For example. So they're all upgradable. If the stats look kind of meh right now, they can all be made better, I promise.
I will mention this to both Zuri and Ota.
Oh, that could be very useful. I wouldn't mind perhaps having that one, but again, that could be a discussion at a later time. These gifts are quite generous. Thank you, Garm.
What little knickknacks I could get my hands on, unfortunately, in such short notice, and unfortunately, we're strapped for resources, trying to rebuild and fix all the damage that was caused by the Sith. But again, hopefully, they'll help you all come back to the academy in one piece.
Well, thank you again. I appreciate it.
He smiles and he says, "Well, it was a pleasure."
Will you be okay here?
He gives you a smile and he says, "Well, as okay as one who has to engage in Jedi politics can be." And he'll chuckle under his breath.
Well, if you find out anything new, let us know.
Bibble just gives him a bit of a cheeky smile.
Yes.
Nothing.
Well then. If that's all, he'll smile and he'll say, "I hope that you all take good care of yourselves. And may the Force be with you all."
As well, Garm.
And with your spirit.
God damn
See
it.
you around.
Oh, lordy.
So on that note,
Live
back
long
to the
and
ship. Right. Back to the ship. Then my question, as you fire up the engines and they are purring, and the ship flawlessly rises into the sky this time, where are we headed?
That's a good question.
They're still researching information as to where the Sith have fled to. I'm afraid I don't know where to go other than what research I have done recently is to go to Kashyyyk, where perhaps we could gain more knowledge, maybe, on where some artifacts and maybe peoples of interest once were in ancient times with items similar to the Soul Saber.
They were after an artifact here. There's nothing saying they couldn't be after more artifacts. Might be a safe lead. Until we get something more concrete.
They wanted the saber for something, and it being destroyed, that just means they go to Plan B, whatever that is. I'm not sure, but I doubt they're stopping. So it doesn't hurt to have a look further into that, but that's as far as I got with my studies. Unless anyone else has another idea, or knows an ally that could perhaps help us.
I have no one in mind personally.
The public
Neither
hasn't
do
given me
I.
much information to go on, so my bet is they'd probably go after. Well, if the item I was after was destroyed, I'd go after the next closest thing.
It's just a matter of what that closest thing is.
Well, if I was them, it would be the, for lack of a better term, the twin to this blade that you destroyed. Davi destroyed. I know it's meant for the light side, but everything can be corrupted.
Very true, and they've been... Well, you actually just gave me an idea. I wonder if Ilium would be one place to look. They seem to keep going around corrupting crystals. And Ilium is the planet where most of kyber crystals come from. Perhaps they have a base out there, doing something with the crystals.
Zizu, can you roll me lore real quick?
Yes, I can. Depends if my dice like me. But Zizu can do lore. Bad. Oh, that's a dirty 20.
Okay. When you hear the name Ilum, you remember some of the reports that, kind of passed, your desk. And you remember that that's a contested area right now between the Republic and the Sith Empire. And not only that, but it's... How do I put this? It's a hotbed for conflict, let's put it at that.
Yeah. It's not a bad thought. Depends on how low they wanted to lay, with all the fighting that goes on there.
It's a vast, icy planet. Lots of places to hide and lay low for sure. A lot of caverns there too.
With it being contested like it is, they could have allies there. People to help conceal them. There's also a high probability that we run into conflict.
Well, wherever we go connected to these sources, I'm sure we'll be having some conflict involved. But we were trained to deal with conflict.
It's almost guaranteed here. As long as you're prepared. I'm quite used to conflict.
Well, again, it's one option. The other one was Kashyyyk, but again, if anyone else knows anyone with greater knowledge or could help us with some knowledge, I am open to it. If no one, then
you guys make a decision. Tell me where I need to go.
What does everyone else think?
I think we need to be heading wherever we our best bet at stopping the assailants and their plan would be most achievable, basically. So if we think that they are going to go to Kashyyyk or the other locale more likely, we should go to whichever one we think is more at risk. But I have no other leads that I can really offer.
Garen gave me a quick rundown on what they were after on the ship here that got destroyed. They could be after a new crystal to build a new one, or I can see them going after the Soul Saber to try and corrupt it. Whatever one they probably feel is easier.
That is the thing I'm still researching as to where that location could be. Oh wait, we know where that is, don't we?
We don't know where it is, but you have a lead to on Kashyyyk. I do believe there's a lead to the Soul Saber on Kashyyyk.
The Sun
Saber.
Sun Saber. Yeah. Sorry, mixed them up.
Okay,
Davi, Navi, it's all the same.
They've definitely shown interest in trying to create a new one with crystals, but I assume that takes time. So perhaps Kashyyyk could be the better option for now, at least. Perhaps gather some information over there.
As I said, my contacts are looking into other possible leads, but
Well, it's a start. I mean, if we have no other options, then suppose we can start there, if everyone else is in agreement for it.
You just get a shrug from Zizu as she sits down and whoever's nearby and props her feet up on a table of some sort.
If that's where you want to go.
Good a plan as any for now. Let's make way to Kashyyyk then.
All right.
Kashyyyk.
I am trying to find Tython on this map full of teeny, tiny things. Where the hell? There's too many planets.
Tython is right underneath where Mibble is, or kind of in the center of where all our tokens
Yeah,
are.
it's right in the
Oh,
middle,
right here.
right there.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of threw all your tokens around it, so it would be a little easier for you guys to find it here. This should go, by the way, and be replaced.
Yeah,
by
you have
this.
a wrong one on there.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
Kill Davi again.
Yep. All right. So, yeah, my question to you all: where do you want to go from here? Have we decided?
Kashyyyk.
Kashyyyk?
We are going to Kashyyyk. All right. Perfect.
We were just talking about it.
I'm just
God, weren't you
confirming.
paying attention?
As
It's
the
fine.
ship will hop into hyperspace, and it will escape hyperspace over a lush forest world named Kashyyyk.
I'm going to attempt to pull up any information I have from the Republic on the
Okay.
planet, just so that we're not going in blind.
Okay. So you pull up information on Kashyyyk, and it basically tells you that it's the Wookiee homeworld, that they are actually a species of people who live in the trees of the planet, as the majority of the planet is trees, and they tend to stick to the upper levels, as the lower levels are inhabited by all sorts of nasty creatures, such as, Gundarks and whatnot. So, the travel guide strongly recommends keeping to the upper levels. Let's be real, that's not where you guys are going. That being said, they do have landing pads actually that are built into the trees. That's how massive the trees are. Like, you can land on a tree branch, and still have room to spare for the ship. But yeah, like they're landing pads, and then most of their infrastructure is all treeborn. Actually, what I can do, if you want to have a little bit of an image of it, I will drag you guys. There we go. So that this is more or less what a bright, sunny day on Kashyyyk looks like. And the Wookiees do get around, yes, from jumping from tree to tree, tree branch to tree branch, or platform to platform. Again, they don't go down to the ground and then back up the trees. They just jump from tree to tree. But a little tidbit about Wookiees, that's why they have those big claws on their paws, is so they can grab trees like that and climb them, scale them, or jump from branch to branch and whatnot. And it's actually viewed as being... It's extremely badly viewed in Wookiee culture to use those claws to fight. Like, slashing with your claws or biting in Wookiee culture is like a feral, it's a rabid thing. And it's actually really badly viewed. Like, bordering to the point of, like, you want to act like a rabid animal, you are now banished. Like, levels of badly viewed for Wookiees to use their claws or their teeth. Fight with your weapons, don't be an animal kind of thing. Funny little tidbit of cultural information about Wookiee culture. That used to be a thing, and might have been erased by Disney, but hey, I like to keep the old canon alive. So there we go.
All of us do.
I'm sorry, Disney what? Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know who Disney is. It's fine. Never mind. Sorry. Sorry. My apologies. I meant to say a certain entertainment multinational. There we go.
The guy
from
say.
Steamboat Willie?
Exactly. Actually, you can say Mickey Mouse now. It doesn't. It's in the public domain now.
Yeah, it actually is. Huh.
But you have to be thinking about the black and white Mickey Mouse.
That's the one.
Only in
It
black.
has to be the OG design. The other designs are are still not accepted. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're gonna leave the rest of the lawyers. But yeah. So
So we just landed
Oh.
outside of a village, just any old random
yeah,
village.
no, you're actually headed for the main Wookiee settlement, which I forgot its name. I know, shame on me, bad DM, for forgetting the
How
actual name of the
dare
village in the
you.
middle.
You're fired.
It's Cincinnati. You're fine.
We'll say the
Right.
same thing to Zora when she forgets something in Mass Effect. Don't worry.
All the time. It's because I'm more familiar with Dragon Age lore than I am with Mass Effect lore, so I'm like, wiki page. Ah, there it is.
It's not written. It tells you a lot about the story, but it's not written.
You can just say Wookiee capital.
Yeah, it's gonna just have to be that right now. Because actually, they all live in in villages, right, that are spread out throughout the planet. Zerka Corporation, though, did build an outpost there. And they did, at the very least, partially enslave the Wookiees.
Oh, quaint.
And then later there's an uprising, and then they join the Republic, and then there's the Clone Wars, and then the Empire shows up and enslaves them again.
And then the Wookiees unionize. Yeah.
Not really, but they are used as slave labor to help build the Death Star. Funny enough, because they are very strong, so they were very much used to build at least partially build the Death Star. But yeah. Anyway, all that to say. Yeah, you guys land at the Zerka outpost, which is probably like one of the only at the very least well lit up, easy to find, beacon landing pad area type of deal. And Mibble, as you're coming in, you are notified by the Zerka Corporation office on Kashyyyk that there is a 500 credit fee for landing your ship on the pad.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, I wire it through.
Okay, so you wire 500 credits, and you are greenlit to land your ship. I'm actually going to need a piloting roll here from you.
With guidance, because why not?
That's a +1, right?
Plus
Plus
D4.
1d4.
Oh, D4.
When Orta is
And-
literally the backseat driver for everything that everyone does.
I'm sorry, I'm playing a Sentinel. Sorry, something was
24.
Stuck in your throat. 24. All right, very good. Yeah, so you managed to expertly guide the ship between the tree branches. None of them, thankfully, hit the ship. You don't lose your, communicate your nicely installed freshly installed communications dish. You do not get, otherwise bothered by the landing process, and you do manage to, drop the ship clean in the middle of the landing pad, like you've been doing this your whole life. There's a bit of smoke, and steam that is jettisoned from the ship as the landing ramp opens, and you take your first breath of fresh Kashyyyk air. And before we ask, yes, it smells of forest.
Oh, I was gonna ask. 'Cause now I have the theme song for the Empire Marching Hit. As we all like the ship in the smoke. Anyways,
Yep.
wrong side.
You're fine. So, Now that you've arrived, do you guys exit the ship? Is there something you guys do before exiting the ship?
I imagine that we'd have to be cautious going out here. Does anyone know much of the culture here on Kashyyyk?
Depends how much you know about the Wookiees.
Conversed with many, but I've just never been on their planet and know only very little of their culture.
Well, you know more than I do.
I've certainly seen records of Wookiees, but not
Well,
personally interacted with any of them.
the only thing I know is the lower levels of the trees is home to all kinds of beasts, and the upper levels are where the settlements are.
Well, I suppose we could find the locals and see who we need to talk to for information.
Mm-hmm.
I usually find the
On a
bar
friendly
does well
face.
for that.
What was that?
I usually find the bar does well for that. If you want information,
Not wrong.
Okay. Give me your... Give me a perception check, really.
All of us?
Yep. Well, all of you who are looking for a bar right now.
Perception is decent.
and I use my nice
Not
flukey
crack
ears
it.
to try to hear where the sounds of typical
Hey.
bar
Sure.
stuff
How
is
would
happening.
you... Yeah.
Just listening for the bar sounds.
Okay. What role would
Nat
you want to
cr-
do for that?
Still perception, just
Yeah.
using my hearing, which I have advantage of.
Not
Go
cracking
for it.
for a 20.
Nice.
So that's going to be a 22 for me.
Okay. So I got bad news for you guys. You look around and there's no such thing really as a bar here. I mean, don't get me wrong, Wookiees will have the occasional like berry, wine or whatnot, and it's actually quite strong. Um, but they do seem to either like group up in like communal recreation areas where they'll drink and eat and whatnot. Um, or they'll do that at the confines of their homes and then go hang out. But there's no such thing as like a bar where you just kind of like walk in and order a drink, if that makes sense. But like I said, you do figure out at the very least that there are communal area where you will have Wookiees group up.
Better than nothing, I guess.
Okay.
Sybil just goes to get a drink.
Okay. Yep. So you do see a group of maybe like 3 or 4 Wookiees that are talking in a very animated and passionate manner. And I mean, if you guys have heard Star Wars, you know what a Wookiee sounds like. So it's the groans and the grunts and the noises I'm not going to attempt to make right now for the fear of my microphone dying.
Do it! Okay.
Maybe later. But yeah, so you guys do manage to find one such recreational area. What do you do next?
Is there like a bartender? Someone like managing the place?
No, again, it's more of a communal space where people bring their own stuff. Like think a park where you'd go to have picnic with your friends.
Ah, gotcha.
Except it's like that, but with like tables and stuff like that set up. But it's not a place where you can like buy food or buy things.
Okay. Suri would try to go up to someone then.
Okay.
Say, excuse me, I was wondering if you have heard of such a thing that was once here, or know someone who can help guide me to anything that knows about the Sun Saber?
You talk to them and you just hear them like grunt and groan, oddly enough.
I can understand them.
And I hear you, but they don't understand you. As they don't all speak basic.
I can speak. Okay, fine. Let me clarify. Speaking in Wookiee to the.
So you
That's
start to
platypus,
sound
I'm
you
sorry.
start to sound like
sorry,
you
that's Perry.
you start to sound like you're gargling, you know, your toothpaste in the morning before, you know, spitting
Are
it
you
out.
okay? Are you
And
choking?
right. And yeah, that's kind of the response you get, as, you know, a humanoid mouth trying to make Wookiee sounds is very. Let's just say you kind of sound like somebody who's never spoken an Asian language in their life attempting to speak Chinese or Japanese for the first time, and that's a bit of an.
Ohio gozaimasu.
There you go. Like you are absolutely like. They kind of get it, but like it's. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's kind of butchered at the max. So they're kind of like answering you back, but you can even see that they're sassing you a little bit, as you kind of get the occasional as they're laughing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Just gotta give them a small little bow, more like a head nod, or like, thank you for your time.
Out of
This guy's
curiosity,
like, "Oof."
And like
Did
as you
you
walk
try-
away, one of them like punches the other one on the shoulder, and they both like start like actually cackling.
Yeah. She expected this.
Mm-hmm.
did Zuri try in common first, or did she immediately jump into Wookiee?
She did say excuse me in basic
that-
first, and then went into Wookiee.
Okay, just checking so how much I understood of that conversation. That's all.
Oh, okay.
You understood
me,
them making fun.
In
Well, yeah, I got body language and I got excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't take a
Basically.
rocket
I did-
scientist to know that they're just like, fucks up with this person.
Ish.
I'm just checking to see if she knew that you specifically said Sun Saber to them, because otherwise you'd get an earful.
Mm.
Giving out information here.
Is it like one of those things where you like, it's the same thing you speak in like Japanese, so it's like blah, 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 Sun Saber, blah blah blah. Well, in Wii it's the same. It's like Sun Saber.
Pretty much.
I don't wrong.
Or like,
No.
or like, you know, when the Huts, you know, are speaking Huttese, but there's a word that's not a Hut word, and then they just say that one in common or in basic, and then they go back to speaking Huttese.
Uma Duma Waki Pichi. Sun
Yeah, what-
Seba Wapuki.
Kind of, you know, at one point he says Solo and Wookiee, and I'm like, all right.
or
Well,
like
just-
the like computerized voice for like for leaving a message on a phone. Just that moment where it cuts in with your recorded name.
Mm.
God, yeah.
I just had to see how much of the inner lyrics I needed to channel here.
Oh, I respect it. Go for it. Oh my god, are you the space Nyrix?
I'm apparently the space lyrics.
Oh my god, I'm excited to see how this works. Okay.
Do you know what that makes you?
Your dragon character?
No.
Oh no, the sister. Who?
I'm
confused.
blanking
Zuri?
on names right now. Was Beard's character. The one sitting there giving out all the information
Reju.
constantly.
Reju.
Yeah. Makes you the, the space Reju. Giving out our information all willy-nilly.
She just
Anyways.
says anyone who knows about it.
Yeah, then people know that you're looking for it. You usually need to be a little more subtle about this.
Nope.
So the word gets spread throughout everyone. Not the way to go about this.
Mhm.
Well then, let's see you go about it.
I would, but I'm pretty sure they wouldn't understand me. Though I might get ridiculed a little less than you.
Well, I have a device that could help you at least understand them, but unless they understand basic, you would not be able to communicate with them. Only understand them. Actually, no, hold up. I need to look this up. I can't remember if this is just you can understand it or if you can speak
You talk about the
it as
universal
well.
translator?
I think so, yeah. I think you just understand it. I will have to look because I don't remember.
The personal translator is a handheld device that can translate verbal communications between up to 5 languages. The languages
No!
can.
Sorry, go ahead.
What?
No, go.
The languages
Oh.
can. The languages can be changed out while interfaced with a protocol droid or an appropriate computer, and or datapad.
Oh.
Oh my god,
But yeah,
that's so
it
good to
translates
know.
both ways. It's limited to 5 languages, but you can swap them out. Basically, if you read between the lines during a short or a long rest.
Oh, that's so cool. I didn't realize I could swap that out.
You can swap the languages out, yeah. So if you know you're going to a specific planet, you can make sure that you download or have the languages relevant to that planet loaded up on the translator.
Oh my god, this changes everything.
Yeah, but you do need, like I
Everything.
said, to access an appropriate computer and or protocol droid. Since you do not have a protocol droid, I would assume maybe you download those language
Zip
packs off the
computer.
internet or the
Yeah.
equivalent of it,
Or Mibble could
which
try to do it.
would not be for free. You know what I mean?
We need a protocol droid. I mean, it would be nice just to have one on the ship, to be completely honest, but
Yeah.
that's a goal
Hey.
for the future.
If you find one.
They're not uber duper expensive. You can probably find one and either refurbish it if you want to get a used one or get a new one. You want to drop the big credits.
True.
Well, watching Zuri strike out with the Wookiees, I want to look for. Speaking of droids, I want to look for a droid around here that looks like it's working. So like it's actually trying to. It's not just like visiting or whatever. I want a droid that actually looks like they work here.
Okay.
Just to see if I can't get assistance from them.
Also, credits do have physical chips, by the way. They're not all 100% crypto.
Yeah, no,
It's all
people
crypto.
we've seen
Yep.
yeah, we've seen it before in the actual movies where we've seen them as like chips. We've seen them as like kind of like full looking chips as well.
Yep.
We've seen them in different varieties.
Yeah, sometimes they have actual they're like hexagons. Yeah, there's all sorts of weird things. I think it also depends on which
know.
era you're looking at.
I know, but it wasn't as fun to heckle that way.
Look, I'm the DM. My job is to ruin your fun, all right? Yours is to derail everything so you can have fun.
I mean, I
And
think
that
I've
is-
been doing a pretty good job of that so far.
You got it. All right. So, that being said, yeah, you guys have landed. You started looking around, for somebody who'd be willing to answer your questions. Where were you at right now with that?
I'm looking for a droid.
There are
Somewhat.
no droids.
There's no droids whatsoever. No one working on anything.
Not maybe at the Zerko offices, but not within the Wookiee village. They don't really keep droids all that much.
It's not helpful. They're Is there anywhere that has signs or anywhere we can see where the actual basic is being used as part of the signage or whatever? Whether it has,
Mm-hmm.
whatever's their language on top, and then maybe the common underneath or something like that.
But if I remember correctly,
Something for
Shirawook,
tourists.
if I remember correctly, Shirawook is a mostly spoken language. I don't think they write all that much.
They're nomadic in the sense to where everything is word of mouth usually.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Shirawook
why I was
does not
saying
have
if
much
there's
of a written
temples,
component.
they could technically exist, but most of their stories are going to be via mouth.
Correct. Which, can y'all roll me lore?
This is. I just need 3 more. You know, did I have time on the ship to do this? I just need 3 more hours.
My lord, that's a 25.
Okay.
I swear to God. 11.
2.
Okay.
5.
So,
We're not doing.
for those of you who rolled above a 10, you will remember that, like, again, this is mostly an oral tradition when it comes to Wookiee knowledge. And B, for those of you who rolled, above a 15, you'll remember that most tribal societies have either a shaman or, some other quote unquote more spiritual representative along with the chieftain, and that talking to them might be, your ticket forward as far as information goes.
I'm not gonna lie, that was already on my thought to find some shaman.
You ask your Wookiee friends there if they know where the shaman resides.
I mean, I also gave you the translator to help you, since you said you could do it better.
I like it much better than watching you try and interact.
All right, let's see it then.
Okay. She will approach a different group and ask if they have a shaman or matron or something of sorts of a religious stature that they could be directed to.
They kind of scratch their head as you're talking and kind of answer back with a few groans and a few grunts here. And again, you get the idea that, while, again, they do have a shaman that is the keeper of knowledge for the tribe and remembers most of the stories and then teaches them to his apprentice and so on and so forth, they don't really have temples or anything like, religiously, like expressive, I guess you could call it,
Mm-hmm.
So, the real question is, at this point, do you go look for them? Do you go to Zerka to try to get a protocol droid? Do you ask them about whether or not, they have like somebody that would be, the keeper of stories? What's the next step?
Well, I definitely want to hear what everyone else has to say.
Middle's just enjoying his drink.
Still drinking? Jesus.
He has one and he's
Nursing it.
just sipping at it.
Right?
Said them nursing it.
Right.
It's just quite entertaining watching Zuri's kind of attempt to converse with all the Wookiees in their native language.
Actually, I did actually in character direct to all of you. Like, what
No.
do you guys want to do?
I would prefer to find out where this sage or elder might be. It's perhaps our best lead.
Perhaps we can go deeper within. Usually, their house or place where they stay is usually adorned with such things,
Mhm.
so you never know. You could find it visually.
Okay.
Alright. Let's go
So
hunting.
give me... Yeah,
I
if you guys are
guess-
going to be... Oh, go ahead.
I guess Mibble will just follow.
Okay, so if you guys are going to visually attempt to locate it, or to locate like a house that looks like it belongs to somebody important or whatnot, roll me a d7, please. Sorry, I want to say d8.
All of us, or just one of us?
Well, whoever's looking.
Felt
I-
like it was
Yeah.
all of us, but okay.
Then all of you roll me a d8.
I mean, if I know what I'm looking for, I will look for it.
And again, Ziza's just very entertained watching the group stumble. So it's a
5.
1.
Okay.
3.
Day.
Yup.
6.
Womp womp.
So, you do get a little inkling that there is a house, or one of the tree-built houses. Um, it has a couple of extra decorations on it, and you notice it's slightly bigger than the other ones.
Okay. That could be one of the places we can try. That looks promising.
Mm-hmm.
That place really looks the same as all the others.
There are some differences, if you know what to look for. Subtle but enough. Doesn't hurt.
Okay. And so you yeah. Okay. You approach it and you see that there's a pair of guards, standing in front of it. When you approach, they cross a pair of spears. Nasty, very powerful looking spears in an X pattern in front of you. As one of them, asks you, who goes there in Shirawook.
Looks to Zizu.
Or use that translator I was given to, like, my Jedi companions and I are looking to speak with the Storykeeper. They're in search of an artifact they believe is on this planet.
Okay. One of them kind of grunts at you, but the spears don't move, and kind of turns his head and half twists his body and roars something into the tent. It takes about a good 3.5 minutes, but eventually out of there comes this massive Wookiee, and you can tell he's definitely an important figure because again he's got some slightly better looking armor. He's got a few things, a few decorative items on him which none of the other Wookiees have. A wreath of flowers that might have been made or by one of the kids, something like that type deal. And he looks at you guys and kind of growls, half surprised, half wondering, what do you guys want coming at my house this late?
What time of day is it right now?
It is currently 3 hours after sundown, give or take. That does not mean, by the way, that you guys flew over here in half an hour. I'm saying on this particular planet is you get what I mean.
Nope.
So yeah, he growls at you guys and kind of looks at you like, okay, well, what do you guys want?
I'm escorting a few Jedi. They are looking for an artifact. We were hoping to speak to you about finding where we might either locate artifacts or other Jedis on this planet.
She kind of gives you a surprised grunt with a non-committal, shrug before making a few complicated sounds, which thankfully the translator picks up on. And apparently, there's never been like a temple here.
What do your worded histories say about special artifacts from ancient times?
Well, he kind of shakes his head a little bit, and again lets out a complicated series of grunts and growls, and even your translator has a bit of trouble keeping up with it. But at the end, you kind of realize what's going on here. Um, and my brain completely shut down. Wow.
More caffeine.
Yeah, tell me about it. I'm gonna take 5 minutes to get some water after this. Well, not 5 minutes, like 2 seconds, just to run over and grab water and come back. But
We can take a little
um,
break too if you want.
maybe for like a few minutes, just because the hoodie's getting a bit warm, I'm gonna take everything off for 2 seconds just to cool
Take
off.
it off, Jesus
I
Christ.
But
TOS
Take it
TOS.
off. Take it off.
yeah, you're funny. No, man, Azrin was right. If I take the hoodie off when I'm streaming Star Wars, I literally am going to, spontaneously combust and at the same time be, kicked out from my spot. So yes, that's no. Not by any of you guys, just by the universe. But yes, all that to say, yeah, he will, like I said, grunt a couple of complicated things, and your translator does pick up the general gist of it, and it's basically a confirmation of some of the info you already got off the Jedi Council, that this planet was not always huge, tall trees, and if something that ancient had come here, well, the topography is very, very different, but there might be a place where you might be able to find at least some form of information or something. But he doesn't quite tell you where it is just yet. As he grunts and Wookiee growls and roars and basically, kind of gives you this whole other complex thing. Where, long story short, it's a favor for a favor. He's not giving you the information for free.
That's understandable.
I wouldn't expect it for free.
Right?
What can we do for you?
He looks at you, nods, and then kind of growls and grunts again, a long, complicated series of words here, before saying, which basically translates, long story short, to, well, he's been challenged to a duel for, being the chief of the clan by another Wookiee. And he's got a little bit of a problem because he had a double-bladed sword that he was planning on using to fight for this battle, but as he was cleaning it and polishing it, it managed to slip out of his grasp, probably because of the oil. And it managed to actually fall between two branches, basically, and he lost sight of it.
Hmm.
Can you point us in the direction of where you were when you were cleaning it?
He does point you in that direction, which, again, is quite a few platforms further out. And remember, like I said, right, it's basically jumping from tree to tree. There's no,
Yeah.
convenient walkways necessarily or whatnot. It's just, fastest time there, by Wookiee movement standards. But for you guys, it might be a little more complicated.
Yeah,
But he wants
grappling hook and a little rope. We can do it.
Yeah, you got it. But what he does want, yeah, he wants his sword back. After so he can have it for his duel, for clan boss basically, or chieftain.
And when is your duel?
He moans and grunts, and he says he's kind of managed to stall the challenger, so probably about a week from now.
Not that far away. Well, we could certainly retrieve it.
He grunts that he would appreciate that.
Assuming something else doesn't run off with it.
Well, there's only one way to find this out.
Well, if we're searching for something like that, it's going to be easier to do during daylight. As I'm now addressing the rest of the group and no longer... I mean, I guess I have the translator out, but...
Yep.
Yeah.
Not specifically talking to it. We could head back to where we're staying for the night and then
Where are
search
we
in the morning.
staying?
Might be a decent idea.
She
Perhaps our
just gives
ship
Nibble a
would be the
look
best
as
bet,
in we will
but
discuss this later.
We do have a ship.
Ship. with rooms.
It's not like it's
Correct.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, and due to the current situation, at the very least on the Wookiee side of things, yeah, there's no real accommodation available for you guys right now.
And right now, Zizu's lower arms are crossed, and her upper arm is like rubbing her temple. The other one's holding the translator. You're like, oh my god, these people aren't going to learn anytime soon. Information, not necessary.
Yep.
She doesn't say it out loud, but that's what she's thinking.
Yeah.
And totally giving Zuri a look of, really? We just talked about this.
I'm confused and lost as to what's happening.
We will find you when we find the weapon.
What are you talking about?
She addressed back to the Wookiee person.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, he grunts and he says, "Yeah, well, by the time you bring back the weapon, I'll have the information. I'll go ask the shaman."
Noted. She just notes that and starts walking back towards the ship.
Okay. So the
As you
shaman
do
will
with
be
the
ready
deed.
with your information by the time you guys, have gotten his double-bladed sword back. I'm only assuming you guys are going after it in the morning, considering everybody went back to the ship for what I assume to be rest.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
since you said it was late here.
Yep. So what we'll do then is they'll have a rest, right? Until morning. If you don't mind, we will take a quick 5-minute break just to rehydrate and everything and wake everybody up, and then we will have at least 1 more hour of TOTOR. If that's okay with you.
Mm-hmm.
Works
Awesome.
for me. We'll
Yep.
be back, guys.
There you go. Drink water.
Now you're getting comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And we
This
are
is what-
back.
This is where Kitty Cat sits now. Kitty Cat's taking over your character.
Kitty cat playing a bunny.
We got a new character and a new player.
There you go.
Have
So we have returned
we?
ish as you were talking with the chieftain, and he agreed to let you guys get the info you're looking for from the shaman on the condition that you bring him back his prized double-bladed sword. Provided you do that, again, he'll give you access to what you want. Problem is, he dropped the sword between two branches, and unfortunately, much to his shame, which actually resulted in him being challenged like that by his rival.
ADHD Adventures. Thank you so much for
Ooh.
that raid.
Thank you.
Hello, guys. Welcome, welcome. So, yes, you have been granted that mission by the Wookiee chieftain. But that will also result in you guys having to go down a couple of levels in the underbrush, shall we call it, of the forests of Kashyyyk. Kashyyyk. I will pronounce it properly one day, not today.
No.
But yes, in the underbrush of Kashyyyk.
For now, I'm just gonna call it Kashyyyk, just trying to screw you up.
I personally don't really mind either way.
Terrible person.
But yes, all that to be said, you are also given, allowed to pass, to bypass the guard in front of the handheld, like kind of rickety handheld, elevator that'll let you guys go down a couple of levels. And the question now is, what do you guys do? Are you going that way? Are you going to the Zerka offices and potentially looking into, getting your hands on some supplies? Do you want to go and talk to more of the Wookiee people? What's the plan here?
It might be easier since it is quite late for them. Some of them were kind of irritable. Maybe it would be best to try first thing. in the
But
morning.
we're in the
This is the
we're in
morning.
the morning.
Oh,
Yes, you guys had retired to the ship prior to us to go on break.
Are you okay, Zuri? Did you get enough rest?
I don't think Zuri here slept.
no, I did not.
I see.
Zuri's looking outside with the sun up, going, "It's still nighttime."
It's still night in my mind.
Yep.
Well,
You're pulling a mibble.
A little jet lag here.
a little bit.
All right.
I mean, I think the sooner we get to that sword, the sooner we can move on to our next destination.
Agreed.
Don't really need to dilly-dally.
Sure.
Suppose we
And
should attempt to find it then.
And just before we leave the ship, I'll just send a correspondence to my handler just so that they know where we're at and what we're involved in right now.
Mhm.
Just in case they have further leads they need to reach out with.
Okay. You send out the information, right, to the Republic, and they actually urge you here to not get involved in the Wookiee versus Zerka conflict, and to just focus on doing your quote-unquote a damn job and actually getting your hands on the information that you're supposed to get your hands on to try to find those two Sith you're looking for. You can kind of sense that the how do I put this? That your bosses are not too fond of you. Well, to use our TTRPG terms, they're not too fond of you, going on side quests.
Hope.
Especially ones with, potential political fallout.
Oh, she had no intention of getting in the middle of the Wookiees and the Zergs and just give this guy his weapon gets us the information we need. She's not gonna write anything back though, she just kind of looks at it annoyed.
Okay, very good. Joker, yes.
Mildly
We need to
considering
start the
writing the
rebellion
next one
early.
in a cipher that,
Exactly.
and not giving them the key to it.
Very good. Okay. So now that you've reported to your superiors at the Republic, being an operative and all that, for our less, Republic bound individuals, we'll call it that, what are you guys up to then?
I wouldn't mind just looking for supplies, but if we can get the sword first, we'd have to come back to town anyway and then look further. So do the blade and then supplies and be on our way.
Okay.
If that works for everyone else.
Mibble, Zazu, Orta, is that good for you guys?
Yeah, I guess.
It's a sound idea to me.
Okay. So, in that case, unless somebody has a veto to this, you guys will head up to that elevator. And the Wookiee guard is also the guy who's going to handle it. He's also going to operate it for you guys, as it requires, a lot of raw strength to move an entire party down like that, and that falls within his, wheelhouse, we'll call it that. As he'll grab that wrench handle and just wrench everything slowly down into the underbrush of Kashyyyk, forest. And there's a little bit of light because there's a few torches on that little elevator that he's bringing you guys down with, but pretty damn dark down there. Fair warning, you will have a bit of a hard time seeing what's going on if you don't have some sort of low light or dark vision.
I put a flashlight on my weapon.
Flashlight works.
I have a lightsaber.
You call that a flashlight? Here's my lightsaber.
And I have a lightsaber, so I can do both.
I'm going to activate a glow rod and hang it off my belt.
Okay. So you guys get down there. The guard kind of points you in the approximate direction of where the sword would have fallen. If how do I put this? If it hasn't been moved or anything, right? And you'll walk for maybe a good 5-10 minutes in that underbrush. I will need you guys to very quickly give me, if you don't mind, I will need a perception check, please. As I'm assuming you guys are being careful of your surrounding here, as I know you guys quite
18.
well.
15.
Yep. Okay.
I don't even want to repeat it. Just don't worry about me.
That bad, eh?
18. Well,
On a scale of
18.
Okay, got you. On a scale of 1 to 1, Orta, how bad was it?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh my.
Oh no, I think we should talk about it. It's good for the netcam stuff. I'll stop. Anyway,
I think we moved past it now. Like right now.
I don't know, bro. It sounds like you're still kind of coping. All right, I'm joking.
At least you
All
did
right.
roll a 1 on the option of where the vocal bite was going to go, and it bit off your head.
True. So,
Not that anyone's done that recently.
Oddly specific.
I'm not saying anything. So on that note, I have to roll a few things now. My turn. You guys will see the sword in the middle of, well, I wouldn't call it a clearing because again, there's a lot of roots and trees and whatnot down here, but I guess you could call it a clearing, quote unquote, a clearing. And at the middle of that clearing, you'll find the sword. It is there. It's about maybe 100, 110 feet away from you guys, but you can see it from the glint of your flashlights, kind of reflecting themselves off of the blades. But the real hiccup is as you guys are doing that, and you're flashing lights at it. You'll also notice the lights reflect off of another surface in the brush not too far from you guys, as you see a pair of fairly big yellow eyes that are just kind of unblinkingly staring at you guys from that brush.
Wait.
Slowly backs up to the back of the group.
What's the thing? I'm looking
Do we recognize this? We see eyes, we don't see anything else, correct?
Yeah. Give me a minute to see if I can check what is the eye color in one of these. Yeah, I think it's like some form of like a very, very dark bordering on red, orangey, color.
I'm-
Again, it's predator eyes, as you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
Zizu, not used to working in more of a unit, will automatically kind of like drop and attempt to hide herself within the foliage.
Okay.
You no longer see Zizu.
I would like to attempt to very carefully. Actually, how far away are we right now from the weapon?
Like I said, about 100, 110 feet. This guy's in the brush, probably about halfway.
Between us?
Yep.
Or behind it? Okay.
More or less between you guys, yeah. Well, between you and the sword, yeah.
I just need to get close enough and grab the blade with the force.
Orta keeps walking. He didn't see anyone.
Please be careful, there's something there.
Where?
Literally in front of you.
I don't see anything.
It's because it's literally in front of you. 50
I-
feet away.
I'll trust you on this, but I don't see what you're talking about.
Why is this conversation giving me the whole "honey, where's the mayonnaise" vibes?
Opens up
you
the
know?
fridge.
Right under your nose. I can't see it. It's right there. I'll take your word on it, but I can't see it. It's right under my nose.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
love it.
trying to stop Order from continuing forward. Can I attempt to skirt around this beast while staying hidden under the brush?
Roll me a stealth roll.
Come on, dice. I'll take it. 27.
Okay. Yeah. Bravo 6 went quite dark there.
I want to
So-
skirt all the way around, see if I can get to the weapon. It's my goal,
Okay.
obviously.
All right.
And if it doesn't seem to notice me, I'm going to pick up said weapon, assuming I can.
Okay.
Not very strong.
It's heavy and cumbersome and annoying. You are able to pick it up, but following stealth rolls will be done at a disadvantage. As this thing is a Wookiee-sized, double-bladed sword. It's heavy. It's unwieldy. It's made out of probably like Durasteel or some other super heavy, metal. It's not made to be easily wielded. It's made to, impress the heck out of Wookiees.
Yeah.
Especially when, the chieftain has to duel to keep his position.
The way she sees it, at least she can make it partially back, and hopefully one of the Force users can grab it, so she's going to attempt.
Okay, let's see it.
That's actually not terrible. 24.
On your stealth?
Yep, I rolled a 16 and a 14. And I have
Okay.
a plus 10.
Okay. Ooh.
I think I would like to attempt to stealth as well. To try and get closer.
Okay.
Kind of around, not directly towards the creature, but kind of go around and out of the way and try to stealth.
Mhm.
Actually, give me a second.
The weapon's currently moving back towards you in a roundabout manner.
Give me a second. I don't think I can do this today. There's so many things I can do. Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah, forgot about that. I am going to activate my Infio ability and go incorporeal. Incorporeal. Wow, I swear to God, I just don't say that word right. Incorporeal.
You just like to
Corporeal.
ditch letters out of that word, don't
I
you?
do. I
Right.
just butcher shit. I just don't even. I read the
We all
beginning
ha-
and the end. I don't even read the middle.
We all have issues with words. It's okay.
So you go incorporeal,
hmm
and then what? Because that
I
doesn't make you necessarily invisible. It just lets you go through matter.
think it helps with my stealth. As I said, I was still attempting to stealth around.
Give me a stealth roll.
With advantage?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Nat 20 for 26.
Okay. Yeah, you both managed to kind of meet up halfway, I guess, as you're both quite stealthy.
And I see the weapon moving.
Yeah. Because you're looking in that direction. The other thing's not looking in that direction. He's looking at the food in the front.
Mibble is still backing up. Slowly.
Mibble, when you back up to a certain, distance, this thing pounces in your direction
Oh no.
with a low,
Orta,
hungry growl.
Orta has not left that side at all. He was just waiting, sort of, trying to be a bit of a distraction. So he is still over by Mibble for clarity.
Okay.
So this thing is attacking. Right now?
It's going after Mibble right now. It saw the rabbit and it went food.
Classic.
And what you'll see is this big red creature with two sets of arms. One of them that look really big and massive, and they look like almost like gorilla arms. Its hindquarters, its legs are basically just like a leg with a claw at the end, no foot, no nothing, and it's got these intermediate arms that are less big than the big front arms. It's got a red, like I said, complexion, big pointy ears, and a huge mouth filled again with pointy teeth here. If you would like to know what it is, per se, can I please get give me a nature check, actually.
Oh, I see it now.
Nature check from all of us?
Yes, please.
That's a natural one. I don't know shit about this thing.
12.
I don't want to talk about it.
17.
You don't know
Again?
shit either?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh my
Yeah, no
god.
shit.
Your
Oh
dice
my
don't like you
God.
today, man. Oh, yeah. The betrayals, the dice betrayals over and over again.
You know, better to get the betrayals out of the way now than when they really matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like in combat. But yes, what is charging at you guys right now is a very big Gundark.
Okay, it's a dark gun, but what is it?
I'm more.
It's,
You know what? I'll drop
think-
it for you so you can see what it
think
looks like. Here it is.
Monkey, elf, orc thing.
Ah,
It
Jenkins
That is a
depends
Gun.
on
Gundark.
depends on what version you look at. Can you blow that up a little bit? Oh god. Stop moving it.
Oh, that's fun. What a quaint
Mhm.
little fella.
Right?
It's like
He's definitely the type to, make friends and have soft tacos later.
He has a book
He
club
reminds
for
me of a
sure.
Pokemon.
You got it. But yes, there is a very big Gundark standing in front of you right now as it charges out of the brush.
Do we have time to act, or are we going into initiative?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Um,
I want to react if I'm able to.
You two, because you're unseen, can. The other two will not.
Yeah, Mibble's
Okay.
like, nope.
Let's go ahead and roll initiative real quick then.
I want to drop the weapon I'm carrying and pull out one of my blasters and I'm going to let off a shot at it, which I'm assuming by react I can only get one shot off, not two.
Correct, but you will be getting your sneak attack off of it as it does not know you're there.
I can't. If I'm getting my sneak attack, if I can hit it, I'd also like to make it a blinding shot.
A what?
Blinding shot.
Oh, yes. Okay, go ahead.
And I'm going to go ahead and use my flexible rending feat to add my intelligence modifier to my attack roll. Or half my intelligence modifier to my attack roll.
Okay.
Which is... Where's my intelligence modifier? There it is.
Okay.
Sorry,
So-
I'm adding everything up.
Yep.
That's going to be a
Your
total
turn.
of 18 to hit.
Okay. That will, I believe, hit. Let me just confirm. It will hit.
Okay, and I will need a Constitution saving throw from him.
Okay.
Give me a second to calculate the DC. It's going to be 15 DC.
Okay.
And I'll roll damage while you do that. D6 for the blaster pistol, and another D6 for my sneak attack. I dropped the other 2 dice in order to do blinding. So it's going to be 11 energy damage.
There you go. So it's charging at you, but you react quicker and shoot it. As it now,
Did it make it safe?
it made a 12.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes the save or not. I don't know what your DC is, but yes.
15.
DC was 15.
Okay, so he did not make the save. What's up?
Oh, so he's blind.
Very good.
Until the end of my next turn.
Very good.
So the shot probably... The flash of the... I'd say probably the flash of the blaster probably was aimed right to blind him.
Mm-hmm.
And
So yeah, it screeches more due to the pain of the bright light than anything else right now. But yes, go ahead.
taking advantage of that as it kind of starts wailing in
Advantage.
shock.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Gonna go ahead and see if I can. How tall are Gundarks?
This one is. I'll tell you in a minute.
Oh, that's very. Yeah, how tall is this one?
If they can put it in. Average height is 2 meters. This guy's about 3.
Oh, so he's small.
Well,
Meter.
no,
Six feet? Well, meters is like almost 3 feet.
correct. So he's about
Almost
9
9 foot.
He's 9,
Oh,
10
9
feet tall.
foot. I don't know why I was thinking 6 feet. 9
That's
feet.
the
Okay.
average one.
Nope, that's
Yep.
perfect. As I'm gonna try to get under its belly and do kind of a run and slide as
Okay.
I activate my lightsaber and slice across its chest.
Okay, let's see it.
I rolled an 18.
That'll hit. Roll me, Dammy.
Okay. I somehow lost my sheet. There we go. God, I need to get a better saber. I don't like this low dammy bullshit.
What's up with the
Oh.
saber?
I'll take that though. So I just need to upgrade my saber. I don't like this low dammy, can't do much, basic bitch saber.
Well, that's why you guys have upgrades. Shove them in.
Yeah.
But yes.
That is 11 energy damage.
Oh, very good.
And I would like to use my double strike, where as soon as I hit a creature, I roll one of my kinetic combat dice to deal additional damage with the same type, equal to the amount rolled. The additional damage of the same type. Okay. So another D8, I think. Let's see here. The wording is slightly confusing.
Okay.
When you hit
What
creature
part of
with a
it?
weapon attack, you can roll a
Yep.
kinetic combat die
Yep.
and deal additional damage of the same type. Equal to,
Yep.
so another D8. Okay.
Correct.
Jesus, dice. Okay. That's an additional 12 damage. So 11 and 12. Dice have been hot this week. I'm terrified of next week.
Absolutely.
So whatever that math is, 23 damage.
Okay, very good. So yeah, you do your slide thing and then slice across his chest. It has that second pair of arms that it raises, and you don't manage to bite completely through them. But yeah, you certainly put a huge dent into him.
Okay. And then, of course, as soon as I immediately run out, I get behind it, taking advantage of it,
Yep.
kind of looking around like, where the fuck is everything? And that's where I will end my surprise round, is behind it.
Okay, very good. Is it?
Should we get our tokens? Or no?
Yeah, you know what? I'll throw them out for you. Give me a minute. It's not as critical, but I should have them out for you guys. Let's see.
Oh, I didn't know. That's what I was like.
Nope, you guys were give or take over there. Zuri, you said you went through them and then chopped. So I'm assuming you're somewhere
I'm,
behind
like,
it.
Behind it, yeah.
And then we had Mibble, who was trying to retreat off the map, technically.
Wow, Mibble's so big.
Right.
You're supposed to be so small. You're so big.
Let's see if you guys are strong enough now to pull the ears off of Grundark. Alright. Like I said, what was your option that you had chosen for your sneak attack turn thing?
It was blind.
It was the
Blind.
blind,
They
that's
did-
it. Perfect.
Blind
Okay.
shot.
So at this point, guys, you know what time it is. It is time to roll in that initiative.
22.
Perfect.
I'm sitting at a 17.
Oh.
17 for you. Okay.
Oh, right. I have decent decks on here. Right. Well, you know, then I rolled decent. Okay.
13.
Um,
So there's only 2 of us on the turn order counter.
yeah,
I'm
there's only
assuming
2 of
it's
us.
Glad.
Oh, because the other 2 didn't carry over. My apologies. Here, let me fix that for you.
Okay, only
Yo.
2 of us can into our
Yeah, here.
gifts.
Tell me if that fixed it. Yeah, that's the Roll20 thing. When you switch maps, the turnover does not carry over everything every time.
It does not.
Yep. Very good. Roll this boy and see what's up.
At the very least, he's still blinded till Zizu's turn.
And to my turn, too.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say Zezu. Zizu. Zazu.
I'm just gonna call him
Okay.
Kazoo.
Zizu.
Zizuza.
Zip zap zop.
Beep, bada, bada, boop. Ba, ba, bada, boop.
Right.
I've been in a 90s kick lately.
There we go. Okay. Well, lucky enough, it is still going last anyway. Mibble, you're going to be going first.
Hey.
However, you guys have a choice. I can stop it here on a cliffhanger, or we can do the fight. Do you guys want to do an extra half hour or not?
Time for the fight. I mean, we usually go until 11:30, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
we have the time. That's perfect. I'm just double checking. I don't want to, it's late for some people. I just want to make sure we're still good.
I will
Okay.
state I have a class tomorrow at 9:30 with a 40-minute drive.
Hmm.
Do you want to stop then?
Like, how long do you think the fight's gonna take?
Probably a good half hour, if I'm being
Half hour?
realistic.
I was probably not gonna get to bed till midnight anyway.
You sure?
Okay.
Again, sleep and work and school are important. That comes first always.
I can cope.
Can
All
you
right.
wrestle on being responsible or not? I get
I can
that.
hear the internal dilemma on his end. Like, I want, but I need sleep, but I want. Yeah.
My
Feel
constant
back and
dilemma.
forth.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
All right, so we are going.
We are going in. All right, Mibble.
Perfect.
Door's yours. What are you starting with?
While it's still blind, Bibble's gonna make a turn to hopefully confuse the thing from where he is. So let's see. Probably over there. Where was that exactly? Thank you. He's gonna go
Yeah.
over there
Okay. And what?
and bowcaster.
Oh, fun. The Wookiee special.
15 to hit.
Second. I just need to check one thing for the bowcaster. 1 second, guys. Because I remember there's a strength requirement on it. I just want to make sure you meet that requirement, or else things will happen.
This picture's just throwing me off just because I'm so used
Okay.
of how they look at like in smaller.
Mabel, roll me the attack roll, please.
Attack.
Mhm.
All right. That is gonna be 11 damage.
Did you roll to see if it hit first?
Yeah, I said 15.
Oh, 15. Okay, sorry, I did not hear that. 15 will make it. You're fine. And yes, you said 7 damage?
11.
11 damage. Oh, wow.
Doing a lot of 11 damages.
Right?
Just saying.
That's a lot of high damage pulls. Okay.
The theme of the day.
Yep. Orta, what are you up to?
I am going to approach and take a bit of a stance, using my bonus action to activate Wave the Crate Dragon. I can never pronounce whatever that word is. So the first time I hit it with a melee attack using strength, each turn I can choose to deal an additional damage, equal to the strength mod, and that's pretty much all that applies here.
Okay.
And sorry to interrupt. Did Mimble roll their attack at advantage since the creature's blinded?
Oh,
No, I did not. So
good, get
Just
that
might have been
damage.
better. Yeah.
no, it would have been.
Oh,
Okay.
sad.
It was worth a shot, you know?
Yep.
Okay. Very good.
And then I will be attacking twice, punching twice
At advantage.
at advantage.
Okay.
Uh, 24 to hit for the first one.
Okay, very good. It'll hit.
Oh, I can use my pretty new D6. Come to me, D6. Plus 8 damage because of my first attack using strength. This turn. So the 3 additional strength on that. Second attack. Uh, 19 to hit. I'm assuming a 19 hits, so I'm just gonna
Yep.
get damage.
Yep.
For 7 damage. And then because of Brawler Mastery, when I hit a creature with an unarmed strike or a weapon wielded in one hand on my turn, I can make an additional unarmed strike against the same target
Okay.
without proficiency.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else for your turn?
Does not hit, because I'm assuming a 9 doesn't hit.
No.
And let's see. Punch, punch, attempted punch. Bonus action to activate my Way of the Great Dragon. That's it. That will be my turn.
Okay, good. Zuri. We're back to you.
Let's see. Let's go ahead and since I am all up on its business, we're gonna go ahead and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing and do quack quack.
All right, let's see it.
Saber up. Right. Did 22 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
Okay, using my kinetic die. A double sixes. So that's 16. No, 16, 20 damage.
Okay.
I don't think I could do. I don't think I can do a second attack. I think I just do the one attack. I just can do double damage if I use that die. Yeah, if she's gonna go ahead and just kind of hit it, slash it in the back with her lightsaber, and then turn on the other side and kind of do a flip with her hand and do the back side with her now double-sided lightsaber and slash it in for the full damage. And yeah, she's gonna stay that way. She's gonna still stay behind it.
Which is, you know, again, completely understandable. The pointy bits are the other way.
Yeah, exactly. She will stand a little bit off to the other side though, because if it swipes around behind her, at least she's like somewhat in a different direction. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so that's gonna move us on to Zizu.
Alright. So, I'm gonna pop out my other blaster, so I have 2 of them in 2 of my hands. And I'm going to go ahead. I have allies within fighting difference, within melee range. So I'm going to be able to get sneak attack on the first thing that hits. So we're going to go ahead and hit with blaster. Sorry, I'm like half talking to myself because I don't know. With advantage. With a natural 20. First one.
Dang.
Okay.
So, are we rolling twice or are we just doubling what we roll?
You're talking for the
nat 20. The crit.
You guys are level 5?
Yes.
Yeah, you automatically get the damage the move would do, and you get to add it one more time as...
So we're doing brutal? Then?
Yeah.
Crits.
Okay.
We are doing brutal, as we agreed, yeah.
So, hang on a second. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 times 6. My brain does not want to math right now. It's getting late. It's an additional 4. Alright, let me roll now. Oh, I did not roll below a 5 on all my d6s. That's going to be a total of 53 energy damage.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Look, I rolled a 5, 5, 5, and 6 on my dice.
That was a crit.
Jesus. This is a Mass Effect bullshit at level 3 bullshit right here.
And I have 3d6 sneak attack. I'd like to
Jesus.
point out my dice also rolled the natural 20, and then the other one was a 19. So as long as it's still standing, I'm going to fire off another shot for my bonus action.
Yeah, that won't be necessary. This thing will let out a howl, a super loud howl, and it will fall dead.
Wasn't 30 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't exactly expect a.
I didn't expect. I don't normally roll nat 20s.
No, you roll a lot of nat ones.
I
Yeah,
do. I don't normally roll high my damage die either.
but as I said, you do hear some further yelping in the forest as this thing's death howl clearly has called some scavengers.
I'm going to look over at
Let's
Zerg
get out of
and
here.
help me with this.
Yes,
I
let's
attempt
go.
to, like, drag that damn sword thing with us.
It is heavy.
I've got it.
I was gonna say, can I use the force to just lift it, or just have it aloft? I mean, I got the strength.
Or, you know, you could have
so
Orta carry it and just kind of lighten the load on Orta a little bit using the
That's
force too. Like, yep,
fair. Too.
either works.
And if Order's coming and grabbing it, I'm letting it go because I am weak.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Bibble's already leading the way out.
Yeah, my strength is decent-ish. All right, as we
Run towards the
Platform.
platform as
Elevator.
you hear crashing, running sounds. It's probably more Gundarks, really. You know, crashing in the underbrush as they're giving up all stealth here as they're charging towards you as fast as they can.
Making note that I want to get a hold of some grenades to be tossing around during times like these.
Yep.
Just continue to book it. Hoping to make it there before they make it to us.
Yep. And yeah, guys, give me 1 sec.
see, we were looking out for you, Obo. Just 10-minute battle. There you go.
Yep. Speedrun it.
You guys again, you know, charge towards the rickety elevator here. The Wookiee sees you guys running and hears the Gundarks coming after you. And you can tell that he's just waiting to reel that up as fast as he humanly can, or, you know, Wookieely can here. It's definitely one of those moments of like, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, faster, 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 as, you know, he tries to do this as fast as he can without breaking the damn thing. You know, speeding up your ascension while all those Gundars kind of trash, you know, the area you guys just left, the elevator just left. Making a mess of things, you know, so one or two of them even tried to like climb up the tree trunk, but kind of give up halfway before going back down. But yeah, narrow brush.
Oh, that went better than I expected, thankfully.
We got this thing back. Let's see if we can't get our information so that we can find what we're looking for.
Correct.
And assuming it's not too late in the day by this point, we're gonna start. I'm gonna start
Well, we
walking.
left
towards
pretty
the
early in
people.
the morning.
No, you guys still have plenty of time, especially considering the fight didn't take that long.
Yeah.
No, you guys will.
Welcome.
Yep. Assuming that's what you guys do, you will be dragging that sword all the way to the, you know, house of the chieftain, right? And as you get closer, you start to hear noises coming from inside.
Uh-oh.
And it sounds, how do I put this? It definitely sounds like somebody's having a fight, but these somebodies are Wookiee sized. So it's not the occasional my elbow hit the potted plant and it broke. This is like you're surprised that the house is still in one piece and hasn't been torn down right now.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
And oddly enough, the guards are not, the chieftain's guards are not actually rushing in. Even, one of the more old, venerable Wookiees with white fur, or at least partially, white salt and pepper fur, if you want to call it that. It's kind of like, put this. Well, like I said, they're not interfering, and this older one kind of sees you guys arrive with the sword and mentions something, in Shirawook again, quite loudly actually, and to the point where one of the guards actually turns back towards you guys instead of watching the ongoing fight inside the chieftain's hut, if you want to call it that. And Zuri, you have the translator, right?
Technically, Zizu has it, but I also understand as well, so both of us would be able to understand what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, he sees the sword. He's like, quick, give it, give it. The chieftain's opponent didn't wait and started the challenge early.
Well, that seems a bit rude.
What the?
Order. Yeah.
I mean, oh my goodness.
What the fuck?
Some-
What the cancellation bleep? No, just kidding.
Oh my.
But yes. So that is the case right now, as effectively you run in, and again the whole house, is in shambles. You see two adult, very large male Wookiees are fighting it out right now. And remember what I told you earlier about, it's culturally very much inappropriate to use claws or teeth when you're fighting as a Wookiee?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he being that douche.
The guy this guy's fighting as has weapons. The chieftain you were sent to get the sword for, he's been doing his best to stay alive in one piece without fighting back all that much because again, claws or teeth are a no-no, culturally speaking for them. So, he's not looking too hot. Like he'd been beat up a little bit.
Where do you want to toss that in there? Does someone have a way to get that to him?
I'll go ahead and force push it. Throw it to him. And we'll just...
Orta would walk in with the sword still in hand.
Okay.
And but I just need to double check something. Sorry, just need to make sure.
You are A-okay. So, you said you walked in with the sword?
Yes.
What do you do with the sword?
The one who is armed going after
The current chieftain? Yes.
the current chieftain.
Correct.
Orta will level one blade up towards him.
Will what level one what?
One of the blades on the dual-bladed weapon towards him.
You having it point one of the one of the blades from the double-bladed.
Bladed weapon at the one who is attacking the current chieftain. I am pointing a blade at him.
Oh.
That's not gonna go well.
Yeah. They both look at you and angrily roar.
Orta, just drop the weapon and get out of there. Do not intervene in this.
I would listen to her. This is their fight to go for. It's nothing we should interfere with.
Pretty sure it'd be quite rude of you to interfere.
Possibly even offensive.
Probably offensive.
I'd be more worried about him being killed for doing it.
Zuri, you would probably notice that something is very off with Orta right now.
Okay.
I feel a disturbance in the force.
Literally.
Oh, lordy.
Normally, as I'd hope you've come to know him, he's very much a level-headed person. And not quick to go to violence or, like combat. There is a certain level of malice in his eyes, sort of, or not malice, but like, how to put it?
Bloodlust?
Bloodlust, a little bit, combat lust would be the best way to put it, actually.
Like he wants in, he wants to go at it.
Yes.
Okay.
Orta, what are you doing? So evil his cam censored him. Oh god.
All I gotta do is just lower my head and I disappear.
Darn it, why did it happen? It hates me. I don't know. I'm just over here trying to make sure my headset stays charged. I don't know.
Orta.
Hope.
When Orta censors himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Right?
I don't even have autofocus on. It just does it.
So weird.
That is annoying.
Like I turned off autofocus specifically.
Yeah, that's weird.
Maybe if I break things real quick for a second, maybe that'll fix it easier.
Break everything. Oh god. I have
Bye.
We would break everything. There you go, fixed it.
When all else fails, turn it off and back on again.
Right?
Yep. There you go. And
Old IT 101.
there is no real response from Orta. He's just sort of ready for a fight more than anything else.
He's just gonna kind of bristle at the fact that you're trying to butt into all of this. You're just looking for that fight. She doesn't know any better.
She doesn't. She's never met him before.
No.
Zuri will approach him and put her hand on his shoulder. It is best for you not to interfere in this, Orta.
Give me a second. Why am I not on my sheet right now? There we go. And sort of as you say that, like almost reluctantly, you might say, Orta sort of points the weapon down and sticks it into the ground. And just starts to walk away.
Zuri will look back at Mibble with eyes that are basically saying something's not right.
Yeah, Mibble's eyes are wide, but he wasn't going to approach Orta, especially if he had the blade. So
yeah. Zuri will kind of, best way to describe it, escort him back. Does he still have the weapon on him, the Wookiee's weapon?
He
No, I
stuck
put
it in the ground.
You
I
did?
left
Okay.
it there.
Okay.
Yeah, and then walked away.
As she walks behind him, he'll look back at the Wookiee that was helping and saying, like, "We have retrieved your blood. Your blade. Do what you need to do."
You hear another roar after you leave, coming from inside the hut. A couple of very loud clangs of metal on metal, and then it's silent. And after a few minutes, bloody and battered, you do see the current chieftain exit, holding his sword. And he nods at you guys, chin points and, roars in Wookiee speech at clearly the elderly here that, is the keeper of tradition. And then walks away, clearly limping back to his, probably its personal home or whatever you want to call it, where it's going to rest.
Mhm.
Perhaps we should go relax and maybe grab some supplies or something and let the chieftain tend to his wound for now.
Sounds good. Does he do this often? I mean, I thought you Jedi type weren't supposed to be so bloodthirsty.
No. This is a first.
This is new. I don't know
Like,
why,
what the
though.
heck? He turns to Orta.
I expect that when I've done a few runs with other people, but not since I joined the Republic. Well, not from the Jedi, at least.
Yeah, Middles just X's Orta, what the heck?
As we all stare at Orta, waiting for an answer from him.
Right?
You're in trouble.
Arta, the whole squad's kind of looking at you, uncomfortable right now.
He just sort of bows and and just says, "My apologies. I don't know if I am comfortable explaining what occurred in such a public foray."
But you know what happened.
I was hoping it would not happen, but yes, I do know what happened.
On the ship, then.
Very well.
I think it
Quite
may be
dangerous
for
for
us.
Quite dangerous to continue conversing with you if this could happen continually. We at least need to be prepared and aware of what's happening.
Yes.
Let's go on the ship then. Give us some privacy.
And this will be the cliffhanger upon which I think we will end today. What will Orta reveal to the party when we come back in 2 weeks? That is the question.
Out of character, I think I know what's going on. In character, no clue.
Yep. Out of character, I totally
I'm
know
now.
what's going on.
No speculation, guys. You'll figure it out when you get there. But that being said, or at least not out loud.
No speculation. Please, you know we're speculating.
Oh, have fun, just
I ain't
so
seen shit.
that'll be it for today. We will see each other all again in 2 weeks. I mean, you'll see more of us throughout the week as we do have tomorrow some Mass Effect, actually, that Zoro here is going to be running for us.
Thursday.
So you. Oh,
I
wait,
mean,
we're Wednesday
time zone,
tomorrow.
that is tomorrow.
It's Wednesday
Technically,
for you, person from the
Yes,
future.
it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow for me because it's 2 a.m. for me. Yes, technically, in 2 days for everybody for the rest of the PST
How
world.
about on Thursday, so we don't confuse people?
There you go. So Thursday evening, yes, you guys will have some Mass Effect, which alternates with our pirate D&D Tricorn Isles, the run by Rosian. Mondays is it I think it's alternating still. Yeah, Mondays
Nope,
for
Mondays
Destiny Forge.
is
No,
totally
every Monday.
consistent. Yep.
Okay, so every Monday you're gonna get some Destiny Forge, which again is kind of the flagship show of the channel here. And Saturdays, on the first Saturdays, you'll get the Behold lore, which I believe, yeah, this coming Saturday is Behold lore.
Yes.
And last Saturday, you will usually be getting our superhero show that runs off of a Kids on Brooms, modified Kids on Brooms system, which we call Would Be Heroes. And then Saturdays, obviously, you've got two alternating show on Saturdays, which is Withered Wastes and what's the other one? I'm doing this all
Wayward
off my memory.
Wanderers.
Wayward Wanderers, Wawa. There we go.
Pathfinder
Yeah,
2.
we won Wawa. There we go.
Wawa we won.
Yeah. But let's be real, TOTOR is the best acronym anyway. Hold the door, TOTOR. Anyway, yes, so more Tales of the Outer Rims in 2 weeks. Everything else you guys have just had. I hope you had fun, and I am very excited to see everybody in 2 weeks to know what was up with Orda and what would the Elder have to say about those artifacts you guys are looking for. So there we go. That's it. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Bye.